Thanks for making mortgage rates make sense.
That's what TD Mortgage Direct is here for.
Mortgages?
Let your Uncle Sal explain things.
I'm good with TD.
I'll be over here knowing things.
TD, more human.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Get a small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax. All summer long. Dollar Drink Summer, only at McDonald's.
That swordfish won me the tournament.
I once had an 8-leg parlay. An octopus, if you will. Came down to a game in Detroit. The team came out hot, and yet they capsized late. Oh, not to worry. With Bet365 early payout, being up 3 goals is all you need to sail into the sunset, my boys.
Get paid out early with Bet365.
New plan. Hey Google, what's the fastest way to the pier?
Introducing the steak and cheese melt at Firehouse Subs. Stacked with new tender, flame-seared prime rib, melted provolone, caramelized onions and peppers, top sliced, toasted twice and extra melted. Because firefighters do things the right way. Only at Firehouse Subs.
When you have a puck. No, this way, this way.
Hey, how are you?
Living the dream.
Let's go.
Before we found Skyscanner, searching for travel deals got a little crazy.
I'm comparing travel sites on the phone tree.
Brilliant.
But Skyscanner searches all our favorite travel sites with one simple search. It's crazy, but in a good way.
From our earliest days here at the Hockey Hall of Fame, we've wanted to be a place where hockey fans could come and really experience the game. Some would say we were interactive before interactive was interactive. And did we make some mistakes? Maybe a couple. But we think we've really nailed it this time. Shoot it, save it, call it. Only at the Hockey Hall of Fame.
With Turo, cars are wherever you want to pick them up. Rental cars are in Section H, Space 45, which is actually back that way. For the right car, right where you need it. Turo, rent a car, not a rental car.
Hope, faith, belief.
Okay, stay cool. Conference finals crunch time. Don't look at that clock.
It took so long to get here. Why is my hand shaking?
Hey, you good? Totally, except I'm totally not good. It's not just intensity. It's insanity. Lord Stanley, if you're listening, we don't want the Cub. We need to bring it home.
Shot scores! You cannot script this stuff, and that is the beauty of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Hockey Night in Canada and the NHL on Sportsnet present the Stanley Cup playoffs.
This is Hockey Night in Canada on Sportsnet.
You want action? We've got action for you here tonight.
He's got a stick. He's in. Scores!
Absolutely amazing.
Metallica, powerhouse touring band. One of their legacies is their signature no-repeat weekends. They play two completely different set lists over 2 nights in the same city, and the Canes hope it's a sign because they cannot have that first show again. Meanwhile, Montreal is the touring powerhouse. 7-2 on the road. Come see them in the round before they depart, and you disappear. Yes, the Wolf of Wall Street and all that. The Montreal, there's not a bandwagon big enough. Welcome to our signature night. It's Hockey Night in Canada on a Saturday with Luke and Colby and Jennifer this evening. But first up, down to David Amber and Elliot Friedman. Gentlemen.
All right, Ron, the building's electric as it was in game one, and we're, one game into this series, Elliot, and the pressure pendulum has already swung. The pressure, squarely on Carolina, trying to do something they haven't done all year, and that's beat Montreal 0-4 versus the Habs this year. Kind of crazy.
Rod Brindamore had a film session yesterday. We asked the players, what did he focus on? And they said the number one thing was decision-making. There were all these questions, all these comments. A lot of us wondered, were the Hurricanes too rusty from their layoff? That's not what Brindamore thought. He thought they were too wired. He thought they were too excited. He felt that contributed to poor decision-making, and he showed them examples of it. We talked in the pregame, this panel did, about the breakaways. You know you're going to give some of them up if you're Carolina, Dave, but you can still make a lot better decisions on the ice.
And the pressure's a real thing, Ron. Listen, 85% of teams that go up 2-0 in a series, as we pointed out, go on to win the series. So a massive game here tonight for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Right, DA, just watching the other side of the playoffs, right? Vegas rolls into Denver and wins 2 in a row, so it's been a crazy start to the conference finals. Jennifer, what are you thinking about tonight?
Well, when you watch this Montreal Canadiens team, they just look ready for this moment. And you think about how well their D are playing. I mean, Goulie's making stretch passes through the pressure. You got Matheson making hard checks in the defensive zone, taking out Jarvis. Hudson's doing it all. And then up front, you just have your top line that's coming off the best game that they have played collectively in these playoffs. This team, they are ready to continue to play smart and fast hockey, Colby.
Well, for Carolina, look, they have to bounce back. They have to have a game. They have to put this to sleep about the talk. I look at Freddie Anderson. Yes, they watch video. What can we do better? Freddie's got to be a difference maker. I don't think he was great. There's some rust there as well. He's got to be good. 4 goals in the first period. It was 4-1. Freddie's got to be good here tonight.
Okay, I mean, Kevin's chair and Kevin's thing is all about how these series are like boxing matches. Carolina got punched in the mouth, or Carolina for the first time in a long time. How do they respond tonight with a counterpunch?
Is he Marty there?
He's ready.
Yeah.
He's
oh my
ready.
God. The Wolf. Okay, so listen, Jeff Gorton said they write great endings, the Montreal Canadiens. You got to stick around. They've got 31 now comeback victories. And the other night, 4 goals inside 12 minutes. So they're at home right away from home, right? Chad LaRose, Eric Cole at the Siren, and then Kyle Bukauskas. Game 2. Enjoy.
Please welcome to the ice for the start of Game 2, your Carolina Hurricanes. And now the starting lineup for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Down the road, they're getting ready for the Coca-Cola 600 in Montreal. It will be their annual Grand Prix on the F1 calendar tomorrow. The Canadians were quick out of the blocks in Game 1. Philippe Deneau was pedal to the metal on his breakaway to give them a lead they did not relinquish. He has described the organization as two different worlds from what he left in 2021 to what he was traded back to in December. What hasn't changed is his value come playoff time. He continues to be an important role, and now for Deneau, worthy of the wolf hat the other night. He has said of the CH logo, it is in my DNA. A rope has been part of the Hurricanes' DNA this season, handed out after each win. Everyone's got to grab hold of it, as Rod Brindamore said, but they've been waiting 14 days to hand it out again. C5 is also part of their DNA, which stands for championship, culture, care, consistent, and compete. That's what both these teams are chasing. A Category 5 level atmosphere in the building tonight for Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final. Do you weather the storm, or can you create your own?
Presenting tonight's colors is the Chapel Hill Police Department Honor Guard. Now at this time, please rise if you are able. Kindly remove your caps and join us as we honor both nations represented tonight with the singing of O Canada, followed by the Star-Spangled Banner. Performed this evening by Adam Lee Decker.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets are wrecking, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
For the third straight series, the Canadians have taken away home ice advantage from their opponent early. Tonight, they look for their first three-game win streak of the playoffs, while the Hurricanes try to get even. Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Final from Raleigh. Jakub Dobiš has won 4 straight on the road after stopping 26 and 28 Thursday night in the opener. While at the other end, Frederik Andersen had an 8-game playoff win streak snap, giving up as many goals as he allowed in each of the first 2 rounds. Jacob Slavin, a season worst -4 game 1. How do he and the Canes rebound tonight? And in the starting lineup for Montreal, rookie Ivan Demidov. He's certainly feeling it. A breakaway goal in the opener and goals in 3 of his last 4. Do we get a first period like Thursday night?
Well, it's hard to believe. So much scoring early on, and you can expect the Carolina Hurricanes humbled in game 1, shocked at the speed and the game plan of Montreal. This should be one heck of an evening.
We had 2 goals in the first minute in game 1. Unlikely that will follow, but here comes Jackson Blake in front. And Dobiš has to make an early stop off Logan Stankoven. That's the top line in the first 2 rounds for Carolina, but quiet in game number 1. Alex Newhook one-hands it to the far corner. Keandre Miller trying to play it ahead, and Jackson Blake sends it back. Sean Walker and Miller idling as both teams make their first changes, and it didn't take long for a scoring chance, did it? Miller fires it in. Wrapped it around, and Jordan Martinook after it. This line for Carolina outshot their opponents 13-1. With Martinook on the ice along with Jordan Staal and Nikolai Ehlers. But the big line for the Canadiens is out, and they had a 8-point night. Yuri Slafkovsky with a pair of goals as he swings in wide. Tried to center it. That's onto the stick of Martinook. But a quick counter here as Ehlers sends it over. And at the line, offside called.
So in game 1, it took all of 33 seconds for these Hurricanes to get on the board. Here again, just a chip into the middle of the ice, a little open ice there. Watch the stick coming back of Matheson, though. We highlighted him in the pregame show. He does an excellent job. Catches that one out of midair, or Stankoven might have been able to get a piece of it. Great defensive positioning and really good stick. The hallmark of a good defenseman is a good, agile stick.
Aiden Gooley, there's Phil Deneau. What a game 1 he had. A chance here for Anderson as he moves in against Gostisbehere. Josh Anderson throws it toward the net. Deneau directing traffic. Carrier moving up to seal the boards. Deneau knocked off the puck by Aho. It comes out in front. Texier back to Gooley. Tried to swing it in front, and that was cut off by Aho. Up ahead for Svechnikov, and he'll bat it into the Canadian zone. Here's Sebastian Aho, and a reverse hit, the big one there on Carrier. Now Aho bowling over a defender, but Carrier's got the puck and starts back to the red line, bumped there by Eric Robinson. In after it is Oliver Kapanen. Kapanen on to his man as it's rolled into the corner. Kirby Dach is there. Puck loose for Matheson. One hands it to the near side. Slavin moving up. Back to Jankowski. Up high. Left to Glasgow. Eric Robinson. And the fourth line strikes first for Carolina.
Well, it took exactly 2 minutes more than it did in game 1 for Carolina to get on the board. 33 seconds in game 1 by Jarvis, and here 2 minutes and 33 on just a deft tip by Robinson. He scored a goal in game 1, and that one you can see sliding by as Dobiš anticipated that one coming to his right. Just an excellent move in that high slot with the tip, and this crowd back on their feet. Chris, in game 1, it was a counter punch right away by the Montreal Canadiens. This is a huge shift here for both teams.
Newhook going after it. He had Demidov loose in front. Newhook along the boards. Now Jake Evans in to help out. Nearly dug out by Newhook, but now played out to center. So it is Robinson with his second in as many games. Another chance here for Carolina. Backhand stop by Dobish. And Stankoven moved in. Hudson around the boards. Swarming to get it back. Jackson Blake can't get it to the net. Evans playing it back. Now Struble ahead. And Canadians will try and slow things down.
Well, good play there by Evans. Didn't panic with the puck. You know, the one time you try to make a frenetic play and all of a sudden the pressure continues. Now he's able to get a change, get the top line on, and just good control and patience in the zone to make a smart play.
Here's Carrier. Caulfield back in his own zone to reset with Carrier, who had 5 block shots in the opener. Montreal with 29. That was their high total of the playoffs so far. Here's Ehlers looking for Martinook. Jordan Martinook back in, and that jumped the stick of Ehlers, and the Canadians will try and counter. It got by Caulfield, played by Gostisbehere, and now a delayed offside as Gostisbehere with it back through center. Over the line is Aho. He'll hand it off. Here's a shot blocked. There's another shot block. Another chance played to the side of the net by Nikishin. And Slavkovsky in some difficulty here after the block shot. Nikishin again. Kicked away. Rebound. Batted away in front. Another chance as Jarvis played it across for Gostisbehere. And now a loose puck picked off here by Texier. Looking ahead, trying to spring Anderson. And Frederick Anderson plays that away. Aho ahead, and here comes Svechnikov. Back in, over the line with Jarvis, and that got blocked by Matheson. Seth Jarvis behind the net. He looked dangerous in the opener. On the puck again. Now Deneau there, and Noah Dobson unable to flip that past Jankowski. Here is Svechnikov. The Michigan tried it, and Dobish able to get a piece of that. Oh, we've seen that in the playoffs yet, have we? Up ahead now, Texier. Sliding it through for Anderson. Josh Anderson nearly turnstiled his man. Fans in an uproar here early in Game 2. Carrier along the boards with Kapanen.
5 minutes in, not a fan is sitting in their seats right in front of us now. It's just the anticipation of something great.
Chip to the near side for the goal scorer, Robinson. Played back to the point, nobody home as Nikishin comes on late. Dobish will stop that up, and both teams get fresh skaters on the ice. Struble starts the breakout, and here comes Lane Hudson. Hudson to the line and over. Swings that back across, and now Kirby Dach. Unable to get control. Jackson Blake to the line. Stahl tries to follow up, and it's Hudson ahead for Dach. Here's Kirby Dach. Carrier was going to jump in on the rush. Dach taken to the boards by Chatfield. In after it, Bolduc. Evans out there with the fourth line wingers right now. And the puck free back to the line. Sent back in and played to the point for Carrier. His shot hit a skate. It'll be centered there, and Gourley had it knocked away, and Carolina plays it back into the Canadian zone, but that is icing against the Kings.
Well, Chris, you mentioned in the first game, 29 blocks to 12 were the Montreal Canadiens. Slavkovsky, you know that you're in the shooting lane. He gets down, and it gets him right on that side of the knee. There's a nerve that goes down there. So painful. Here's the play from behind. Good anticipation by Dobish. Stayed as tall as he could. Got his shoulder right on the corner of the post there, and Svechnikov tried it, unable to execute it. He just watched it on the big screen in front of him.
Svechnikov without a goal in the conference final last year, and with just one in his last 14 in the postseason. Here's Matheson, chased back by Martinook. Past 7 minutes of the opening period in Game 2. A stretch at center for Suzuki. Off his stick, and Carolina will fire it back down. Jankowski's going to get there first, so they wave icing. Here's Jankowski pinned by Matheson. Puck played loose, and Noah Dobson looks up ice. Here's Dobson. Nice pass. Slavkovsky back out there. Cross and a pass for Caulfield. Broken up by Miller. He almost had it slide off his stick into the net.
Yeah, Miller read that perfectly, but it kind of handcuffed him as he was trying to stop might have been a tap in on the other side by Caulfield. Good effort of keeping it out of his own net.
There's that Wisconsin matchup for his teammates, Caulfield and Keandre Miller. Seth Jarvis with a takeaway. Svechnikov spins out in the corner. Gets up and able to work free for Aho to get control of the puck. Now Chatfield through, and that's off the goal stick of Dobish. Nets come off, and play has been halted.
I'm not sure we're going to be able to take the commercial break. The question between the linesmen here, who knocked the net off? Was it a Carolina Hurricane? If it is, we'll go to break. If not, Montreal isn't able to change. And I think Kelly Sutherland making the motion that was the case. It was the Canadians. Dobish knocking it off. He comes hard. He felt, oh yeah, he just pulled it off himself. He's fortunate. That came off awfully easily. He didn't make much of a move on it. Sometimes that palatable peg just comes off and he's having a discussion saying, hey, I barely even pushed it. Fans, have we noticed from game one, there's 19,000 officials in this building. They've been boisterous, they've been loud, and they've been even louder in this first 8 minutes than they were in game one.
Gord Dwyer and Kelly Sutherland will get plenty of help tonight. Matt McPherson and Bevan Mills.
What they're trying to decide is what Montreal Canadiens, the list is up now of who should be on the ice. Don't think it was a case of a long extended shift anyway, so it's not like you're trying to protect a tired guy.
Now look like the forwards were out for under a half minute. There's a face-off win off a set play. It's picked off, and back comes Demidov. Maybe an odd man rush. Demidov in, cuts, and then lost it. Backtrack there, and a penalty coming up against Carolina.
Well, how about that defensive play by Demidov? You know, it's a set play in the offensive zone by Carolina. The young rookie read it perfectly, jumped in and took the puck back the other way, and then right up on the play. Watch the slide here by Keandre Miller. He makes the great defensive play. But afterwards, right here is the interference call on Stankoven. Power play coming up.
Hey man, nice car. Can I ask what you make?
Want to know what I make? As a nurse, I make people feel better.
It's okay.
I make introductions. I make coffee runs. I make it through a laundry list of patients, ailments, charts, and yeah, laundry. And that's just what I make in a shift.
Make more of what you make with Scotiabank. You're richer than you think.
With Rogers Xfinity Internet, my whole house is ready for baseball. So this is where I buy all my memorabilia. Boom! Just got Clement's childhood glove. Mom. She's really come through for me. And this is where I stream everything.
Sweet setup.
It's all for you guys.
Michael, what is this?
Oh, yeah. That's where I keep my modem.
Get Major League Internet with Rogers Xfinity.
Yeah, Wi-Fi just pouring out of that thing.
That swordfish won me the tournament.
I once had an 8-leg parlay. An octopus, if you will. Came down to a game in Detroit. The team came out hot, and yet they capsized late. Oh, not to worry. With Bet365 early payout, being up 3 goals is all you need to sail into the sunset, my boys.
Get paid out early with Bet365.
This period brought to you by Scotiabank. Learn how to earn up to $700 at scotiabank.com/special offer.
All the anticipation of game one with the 11 days off. How would Carolina come out? Well, they jumped out much like they did tonight. The early goal by Jarvis, 33 in, but how about that response by the Canadians? Their fastest 4 goals in playoff history, and took over game one. It just changed the entire script after the early goal. A great response right after. Well, here's the opportunity to do similar. Obviously not so quickly. First power play, got to try to put it in the back of the net here.
0 for 2 in the opening game. That ended a 5-game power play goal streak for Montreal.
Well, Carolina's been almost to perfection. 95.2. Just 2 goals on 42 attempts during these playoffs against the Carolina Hurricanes.
Suzuki again gets it to Caulfield. Caulfield's pass off the skate, trying to get it back with Demidov, but Carolina clears. In fact, the 2 goals they allowed, one was in a game against Ottawa where they were shorthanded 9 times, and the other time they were, killing off penalties 7 times and gave up 1. So even in the games they gave up a power play goal, they had an impressive percentage. Canadians still trying to hold the zone, but it comes out, and now they have to play defense. It comes across for K'Andre Miller. Swept back in behind the net, and Dobish will stop it there.
And that is the other element of this penalty kill. 12 shorthanded goals during the regular season, more than any team in the National Hockey League. They have 1 in their 9 games during these playoffs as well.
Second unit comes on, 45 seconds left. We approach the 10-minute mark of this first period with Texier gaining the line. In for Doc, kicks it back to Dobson. That got past Newhook, and it'll be stopped up there in the corner as Jarvis unable to clear. Jankowski after it, and he'll get it deep. It's the last call for this first Montreal power play. And still looking for their first shot of game 2. Doc is checked, turning it back. Here comes Robinson again. Sharp angle, and Dobish squeezes the pads to keep that out.
Check out 3-goal early payout brought to you by Bet365. When your team goes up 3, you get paid. It's that simple. Download the app today. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly.
You know, Chris, you think of Eric Robertson and, fourth-line player, but he has got speed. Look at the separation speed, and this is one where you could tell Dobish knew he didn't quite get all of it. He's squeezing his arms together, squeezing his legs. Kind of an uncomfortable feeling for a goaltender. Robertson's had 12 goals in 14 before, so he's scored in back-to-back games here. Had a good scoring chance shorthanded there.
Clean face-off win for Jake Evans. Penalty done. Canadians 0 for 1 as Anderson charges in after the puck. Up against Nikishin. Works along the boards. Evans there along with Deneau here. Kick free. And Gooley has to backtrack. A stumble there by Blake. And the Canadians will move back in. Here's Evans. It'll go back to Gooley. Can't get that toward the net. Carrier around. Evans unable to knock that down. It'll be swept to the line, kept in by Gooley. Here's a chance. Pass in front. Anderson scores. Josh Anderson has returned fire, and the game is tied.
Just a horrible turnover in his defensive zone as Taylor Hall went over to Anderson, gave him a little tap. That's on me. Chance to clear the puck. Comes around the boards, Hall's on the board, and he just has a no-look pass that goes right on the tape. And how about this play by Deneau? Anderson thinking Deneau's going to take this shot. Hall with the no-look on a rolling puck. Just a heck of a play there by Gooley. And then Deneau, tape to tape. Anderson driving in, able to chip it up and over. You think of game 1 that Deneau was able to beat Anderson on that breakaway. I think Anderson thought a shot was coming and said, just a great deceptive pass. And just like that, it's a 1-1 game.
So that's the 4th goal of the postseason for Josh Anderson. And Deneau has extended his road point streak to 5 games, had a goal and an assist in the opener. And Caden Gooley, the secondary assist on the equalizer.
It's another big hit by Stahl. He had 8 hits in that first game.
That puck to the line, they say stayed in. Ehlers tried to center. Off a stick to the corner as he was looking for Martinook, who has it now. Ehlers back to the line. Slavin sends it in, and Jordan Stahl on it again. Stahl playing in his 99th playoff game with Carolina. the post. He thought he had it.
Oh, man. Well, that's more Carolina hockey. The hard dump in, the forecheck. They create some turnovers, get that play on the cycle down low, and Stahl all by himself just off the post and wide in game number 172 of the playoffs for number 11.
Here's Struble, redlining in. Doc comes back. Kapanen returns between Doc and Bolduc. Oliver Kapanen swung in by Doc, and there goes Bolduc after it. Anderson out to play it around. Sebastian Aho, and Hudson was on his back, but now peels back defensively. Over the line, Svechnikov tried that Michigan. He has scored 3 times in his career with the Michigan move, but the puck out to center here. Hudson nearly stole. Has to get back. Here comes Keandre Miller. Jarvis from the corner. All the towels here on the seats in Carolina have Seth Jarvis's drawing on them, his face, and he was hearing it from his teammates this morning about that. Kept in at the line by Carrier. He shot, blocked in front, knocked down, chance here, and it swung by Evans. Demidov spins away from the check to Miller. He puts it in front, and it's knocked away from Jake Evans. New hook now. More Montreal pressure. Demidov after it again. It's played past him, and Carolina will dump it away to center. Now it's Carrier speeding in and a backhand wide. To the near side, Slavin steps up. Deneau had it picked off. Robinson put it in front. That's knocked to the line, but not out. Jalen Chatfield shot. It's blocked by Carrier and bounced down into Hurricanes territory.
Yeah, another key block there, Chris. Again, it looked like a chance to get it with traffic in front. Instead, Carrier does a great job of blocking that one and keeping it out of harm's way.
When I mentioned this morning, Rod Brind'Amour, you didn't have a big push in the third period. Why not? And he said, because everything we shot got blocked by the Canadians. The #1 shot block team in the playoffs and during the regular season. By contrast, Carolina, usually doing the shooting, are last in block shots. Flipped up to center. Texier there, Deneau on it as well as a goal and an assist. Deneau had 3 hits and 4 block shots in game 1. Here's Stankoven dropping it off, getting it back, but unable to get the shot away. Stick came up with a follow-through and looked like it might have clipped Hudson, or at least came close. The Nikishin shot doesn't get through. So the Canadians building a wall again. Stankoven drops it off. Nikishin in deep, and Texier there. Spins away from Nikishin, who moved up to get a hit on the inboards. Suzuki unable to connect there, tried to get that to Hudson. And now Hudson trying to take it away from Blake. Is that a glove pass? Yes, and the hand pass will halt play.
Well, a little pushback there by Carolina, as you would expect. Montreal ties the game. Martinick with the no-look pass in all alone past the blocker, off the post and out. We're tied at 1.
Enjoy the game at the game with free tickets from Scotia Perks. Scotiabank, you're richer than you think.
When it all comes together, it could mean you're ready to talk to your doctor about Wegovy. Ask for Wegovy by name. Visit wegovy.ca for savings.
What would you like to taste today?
Every coffee, a new world. Every sip, a new taste. Keep exploring with new Virtua Nespresso. What else?
That swordfish won me the tournament.
I once had an 8-leg parlay. An octopus, if you will. Came down to a game in Detroit. The team came out hot, and yet they capsized late. Oh, not to worry. With Bet365 early payout, being up 3 goals is all you need to sail into the sunset, my boys.
Get paid out early with Bet365.
Fast breaks, big plays, and a title on the line. Catch the Canadian Elite Basketball League action all season on CBC Gem. It was Caden Gooley who said after game 1, I don't know if you watched us last round against Buffalo, but we tended to give up a goal early quite often. They did it again here tonight in allowing the first goal within the first 5 minutes, but it was Gooley that made the depth play, intercepting the breakout pass from Carolina that led to another example of Montreal responding and leveling this game again, Chris.
He has 8 points in the playoffs now, 8 assists. And Phil Deneau, who got the primary assist, now with 9 points. Looked like it hit a high stick off Stahl, but they're going to play on here with Suzuki. 9 points for Deneau is a personal playoff best. Slavkovsky on the tape for Suzuki. A 9-game road scoring streak for him. Comes around for Slavkovsky, whipped it back across the goal mouth and then knocked away by Carolina. 4 minutes remaining here in the opening period. Shots were much different in the opening period of game 1. They're 5-1 here after Carolina outshot Montreal 14-13. 2 nights ago. Andre Miller, Jarvis gets a touch on that. Dobish out to play it for Hudson. And then Kapanen, glove down at the line. Svechnikov, quick shot, absorbed by Dobish. And a penalty coming up after the whistle.
Well, pressure in the defensive zone, a clear that doesn't quite make it, and the first penalty doesn't make happy for Marty St. Louis. Just a little response as Hudson gets hit. Struble with the takedown, power play coming up.
Invest in what you're really invested in. With custom goals and personalized advice from Scotia Smart Investor. Scotiabank, you're richer than you think.
Tim's Taste of the Globe. Here's lime cheesecake Timbit. Oh, chocolate creme brulee Timbit with a decadent takeaway. And fireworks Timbit scores! Pop it off in celebration! It's game on at Tim's with new Timbits in ice cap flavors from around the globe.
Chef Lena is taking the Tide Boosted test.
I am?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I need it. I washed it with this stuff, and it still smells.
Oof.
It stinks.
No, I'm good.
I'm running out of ideas.
Try Tide. It's boosted with double the cleaning ingredients for a one-wash clean the other stuff can't match. Test passed.
It's clean.
Yeah, it smells great.
No, really smell it. It smells amazing.
It's cleaner, whiter, brighter, and fresher. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide.
Boosted!
Quitting smoking is hard. Zonic can help by curbing nicotine cravings fast with an easy-to-use nicotine pouch. Find Zonic in pharmacies near you. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is highly addictive, only to be used by adults who are trying to quit smoking.
Buck Martinez here with the Buck an Inch deal by Pizza Pizza. Get a 12-inch medium two-topper for $12, 14-inch, $14, a huge 18-inch, $18. Buck an Inch, only at Pizza Pizza.
When the Hurricanes are the best version of themselves, they call it the stress game. What every team anticipates when they come into this building, but it can be tough to handle, including playing with pace, being aggressive, the constant pressure. They swarm, they can be flat out relentless, getting out of their end quick to put stress back on their opposition. Rod Brindamore did not know what he was watching from his team in much of game 1. A little more familiar so far here tonight, and now they go to their first power play of game 2, Chris.
Like Montreal, 0 for 2 in the opening game with the man advantage.
Yeah, he was pretty open and honest about what he thought of his team. His top players he challenged too. They weren't nearly good enough.
Here's Miller along with Jackson Blake. Logan Stankoven, who has 2 power play goals. The only Hurricane with more than 1 Montreal gets a clear.
And going with this unit, with this Stankoven line, not going with the Aho, Jarvis, and Svechnikov here early on. Kind of some early message sending. That top line played their lowest amount of minutes of any playoff game in game one.
Here comes Stankoven over the line with Ehlers. Drops off for Miller. Down low, Taylor Hall. Hall's centering it. Stankoven swing and a miss. Puck to the line, kept in by Ehlers. Hall plays it to the far side. Newhook's got a chance to clear, and does. So the Canadians change their penalty kill alignment as Coulthard comes out, along with Anderson, and now the Jarvis group with Aho and Svechnikov come on. Ehlers stays out there. That puck picked off by Gooley. Checked by Aho. Jarvis along the boards. Anderson there, can't come up with a puck. Gostisbehere for Ehlers. Here's the former Winnipeg Jet, Nick Ehlers. Sizing it up. Gets it back from Jarvis. Couple of Olympians, and Ehlers fired, and it's blocked away by Dobish. Ehlers centers, back door, and Svechnikov tried to build a wall, but couldn't knock it down. Big hit there, penalty upcoming. Yeah, Svechnikov ran over Anderson.
I don't know if you saw how quickly Anderson got up and said, make sure, don't retaliate there. He took an awful hard hit. And the instinct as a teammate is it going to respond to it, but he knows just the value of that. An over-aggressive play by Svechnikov with a player in a dangerous position. They tried to go back door and go off of him, and you can see right here, Gooley's just waiting for it, and there it is, right on the numbers. Gooley responds. Watch how quickly the turnaround. Anderson understanding the situation. You'll take that all day when you see that you get a penalty. He's making sure, hey, it's okay, I'm good. Now we got a little 4-on-4 for 21 and an opportunity off of a couple of close calls. That back door almost got to Svechnikov, went through. Anderson able to draw the penalty, but take a hard hit in doing so.
Canadians with 2 shots on goal in the period. One's hit the back of the net, but that's 11 shots in almost 3 full periods now against Carolina. So 4-on-4, and here's Chatfield over the line. Sleeman trying to barge in there. And Caulfield comes back defensively and hands it off to Hudson. And now the Canadians have the man advantage. Struble steps onto the ice and skates across, and over the boards comes Demidov. Suzuki gains the line, wraps it around to the far side. Slavkovsky back around for Caulfield. Slavkovsky deep for Suzuki, off his stick to Demidov. There to get it back to the captain. Slavkovsky in front. The puck didn't ride. Final minute. Opening period. Canadians looking for the go-ahead goal. Slavkovsky, Demidov. Slavkovsky in front. And that pass failed to click, a broken stick out there, and now Anderson's lost his stick, able to retrieve. As Demidov back at center, right back into the Carolina zone. Knocked off his stick, Hudson has to back him up. Half minute remaining here in the first period. Kick back to the captain. In over the line is Suzuki. Stopped up there and back the other way. Sebastian Aho, and checked by a good stick from Hudson. Slavkovsky takes a look, gives it away. 2-on-1. Aho and Jarvis. And he didn't get much on it. Demidov broke it up. Short-handed chance though, and that one bounces wide at the horn. And we're 1 done.
Check out 3-goal early payout brought to you by Bet365. When your team goes up 3, you get paid. It's that simple. Download the app today. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly.
There's times in a game you have to balance risk and reward. That's a very risky play. The time is going, clicking down, and you can see Jarvis kind of got handcuffed there. Aho thinking he could get the one-timer. Slavkovsky happy to get a break after a turnover there.
So Eric Robinson opens the scoring at the 2:33 mark. 11-11. The Canadians get the equalizer from Josh Anderson. Ron McLean, Jennifer Botterill, Luke Gazdick, Kobe Armstrong, David Amber, Ellie Friedman coming up in our first intermission.
This period brought to you by Scotiabank. You could earn up to $700 when you switch to a Scotiabank banking package. Learn more at scotiabank.com/perks. Tomorrow, Hockey Central sets the stage for a critical Game 3.
Vegas in a great spot here.
The Golden Knights have shocked the Avalanche.
The Vegas Golden Knights come to Colorado and win both games.
Now, the series shifts from the Mile High City to the lights of Las Vegas. Can the Knights seize this golden opportunity, or will Colorado respond?
All bets are on come playoff time, but you can't take your foot off the gas. You just got to survive.
You just have to watch the Stanley Cup playoffs on Sportsnet.
You don't need a truck that talks. You need one that shows up. Work days, game days, and these days. Because the minutes, the hours, and the days add up. And Ram is up for them all. Ranked the most dependable full-size truck by J.D. Power. And backed by an unsurpassed 10-year or 160,000-kilometer warranty. Get 0% financing for 72 months on both the 2026 Ram 1500 and Ram 2500 at the Ram Make Your Move event.
Febreze. I use Febreze fabric refresher every day to make my home smell amazing. On my bed, my couch, my jacket or jeans, in between washes, even shoes. Febreze doesn't cover up odors with scent, but fights them and freshens. Over 1,000 uses. Febreze fabric refresher.
The Government of Canada is bringing down your costs so you can get ahead. We're helping you with an income tax cut, access to dental care, affordable childcare, the new Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit, and tax savings on your first home. Learn about these and other ways to help you get ahead at canada.ca/gettingahead.
Only the ServiceNow AI platform makes all your tech work together. Any system, any workflow.
Any AI?
Yeah.
Any cloud?
Yes.
Any data source? The man said anything.
Any whipped cream? Yeah. Yeah. Don't be shy. A little more.
It's a lovely day. It's a lovely day. The purple from our bed. Oh, let's under our heads. It's a lovely day. It's a lovely day.
Tim's Taste of the Globe. Here's lime cheesecake Timbit. Oh, chocolate creme brulee Timbit with a decadent takeaway. And fireworks Timbit scores! Pop it off in celebration! It's game on at Tim's with new Timbits in ice cap flavors from around the globe.
I got dreams in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't go. I got dreams in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't.
Stanley Cup playoffs on Sportsnet brought to you by Rogers. So both goaltenders beaten on the first shot of the game for Dobish. Just twice in the regular season, 4 times in the playoffs, but doesn't seem to matter one little bit. Luke, let's start with that first goal.
Okay, so I'm in Kevin's chair, so I'm going to keep the thought going with something Kevin loves, and that's winning puck battles and 50-50 pucks, 50-50 plays, 50-50 areas of the ice that you need to win. And this is a huge staple in Carolina's game, especially with the way they play and knowing they're going against a man-to-man coverage in Montreal. This is early in the game. You get in deep. There's your first 50-50. It's going to be 77 on 77. Black comes up with this puck. 50-50 number 2, 53 versus 50. Eric Robertson's going to sneak inside. He's going to win this puck battle. Now you have your third and most important in this area of the ice as Jacob Slavin comes down. Here's your third 50-50 in a row. Slavin wins that battle, and it's just incredible how it works. Before you know it, is in the back of the net. Win your one-on-ones, win your battles, and it will help team success. It was a great hot start for Carolina, all because, Cole, you win your battles, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. On the yellow, that's Carolina's game, right? That's what they have to get to, the swarm.
And then Montreal's in survival mode, and they took a little page out of their last game, what they did so well, 29 block shots in that first period. It was guys sacrificing too, right? Like, this is what it takes. Slavkovsky, we showed a few of him from game one. That one stung him big time. Simmer said, oh, there's a nerve in your leg right there. And let me tell you, he had a hard time getting off the ice. But they just stacked up in the middle. Carolina loves to funnel pucks. And look, if I'm Brindamore, I'm going, okay, like, we had all kinds of pressure, right? And it was a good period for us. We got to get better. And if I'm Marty in the other room, I'm saying, okay, boys, that was a good push by them. Will they get better? Maybe that's the best they got. Like, we're okay. We just got to step it up a bit. They were in survival mode, no question, a little bit there. To be expected. Let's see how they react in the second.
Right, but Colby, they got through that survival mode. And if you do that, then you try to generate some chances. And it took them a while to get their shots on net. And Ron, we're watching. We thought Anderson was a little shaky on some of the movements and playing the puck where he's typically very good. But then you get the pressure in the offensive zone. And so you're trying to apply the pressure. This was a great read by Gouli at the blue line because then you have Anderson coming in for the finish. Look, you had Blake and Stankoven for the Hurricanes. They are looking to attack and get up the ice. But Gouli is sure. He read Hall the entire way. Deneau, who's having a great playoff season for the Canadians, and it's so good for Josh Anderson. He's been all over the playoffs with his speed, his presence in front, but not always finishing, but make sure he gets a piece of that one and beats Anderson. So look, I think they've got to try to get more shots on Anderson because he looked a little shaky. And Ron, you noticed a little look at Nikishin after that one to say, why didn't you have Anderson? But to your point, I mean, winning that hard battle, stick on.
He should have looked at Taylor Hall. Like, why didn't you get that out? What were you doing?
I think he nullified an icing too, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, you did sound like Kevin in Kevin's chair. You sounded like Jen in Jennifer's chair. You're not really Kelly in Kelly's chair, but you seem to have the insight on Marty St. Louis, and maybe it's this that explains that.
After you're done playing now, what takes up most of your time?
The three boys play hockey. I run practices. I'm coaching on the bench with them. I'm doing the same thing, just a different form.
As far as you say coaching, what about like in the NHL?
Yeah, I like that.
Thanks for being on the road. Time to go be a Hall of Fame coach.
I need a lot more games for that.
Look at this here. Help the little guy get up on the truck. Look at him here dancing through the boys, Ron. You saw that to start the game as they were coming out. What a fantastic person. Like, his story and his journey as a hockey player, how much he just loved the game, right? And his battle and ability to get through it. I had a chance to play with him World Championships. You see us right there. And for me, hanging out every day with him in Switzerland and watching the way he operated, watching how awesome he was in practice, talking to him. He loves talking and breaking down the game. Such a smart, thoughtful player, strategic guy, just the little things in his game. And I remember I came back to the hotel. We have family rooms there with Hockey Canada. And we came back after dinner, and the playoff games start later. It's like 1 a.m. in Switzerland. I come in the room to watch playoff hockey. And Marty's sitting there by himself already, had the game up, ready to go. Like, just loves it to a T, every detail of it. Amazing person, amazing teammate.
You know Brad Richards is a dear friend, and so I'd often be with Marty as well. And Brad would send me photos of Marty's legs, right? He could never get over the size of... they're twice
Christmas
the size
turkeys.
of the four of us. It's unbelievable. David Amber, Elliot Friedman, down to you in Raleigh.
The guy with big legs. David Amber.
Right.
Thanks, Corey. I owe you one. Listen, that was
Saw too much of them this week.
What are you doing? A frenetic first period. Now, in game one, Carolina had twice the amount of offensive zone puck possession, but fewer scoring chances, so they had to get a little bit more creative. Enter tonight, Andrei Svechnikov.
Yeah, Svechnikov only has 1 goal in the playoffs. He's never had fewer than 2 in a playoff run, and he's had 4 in a series they lost in 6 games. He's a scorer. He's struggling, and Dave, you were one of the few people who saw it happening, jumping out of their seats to see if he would actually pull this off. But Dobich played it perfectly. It's almost as if he expected it to be coming. And maybe he expected it because 3 times. There's the first one against Calgary in October 2019. 2 months later, he did it against Connor Hellebuck, in 2019. And then in April 2024, Jeremy Swayman in Boston. So I think it shows both Svechnikov's ability and the fact that he's so desperate to score, he's willing to try it at a time where a lot of people probably wouldn't even try it.
And we all know about Carolina. It's all about that frenetic pace. You heard Kyle talk about swarming them and stressing out the other team. Montreal seems very comfortable, whether the stress levels are high or low, going into the series.
You know what? The building is much more alive. I mean, that's what you expect. It was 4-1 after a period 2 days ago. It's 1-1 here, but Dave called it coming in. Much more electric atmosphere tonight.
Yeah, back to you, Ron.
Thank you kindly. So this is May the 23rd. On this day in 1977, the New England Whalers signed Gordie Howe, Mr. Hockey, and you can see the sweater everywhere at the rink tonight. There's Gordie. So Saskatoon, Colby, they gave us you, and you give us tonight. Mr. Hockey, Saskatoon gave us Gordie Howe, and in a lot of ways, Gordie Howe gave us tonight. There's a fan to the right of Dobish in the corner this period. You watch for him. He's not eating popcorn. He's in a Whaler sweater.
This intermission is brought to you by Rogers. Hold on to the dream. Rogers, this is our game.
Prescribed Ozempic? What kind of asker are you? Ask for brand name Ozempic and show your Ozempic savings card to your pharmacist to get the brand you know. To get yours, simply go to ozempic.ca.
The Evergreens family vacation started with Expedia, the one place you go to go places. When hockey season ended, summer started. Dad knew his crew didn't need much, but they did need peace and quiet. And lots of space. So they planned their flights, car, and vacation home all in one place. Great, right? Nice job, Dad. Expedia, the one place you go to go places.
Watching dough rise always fills me with inspiration.
Don't ever look at my savings account. The dough doesn't rise.
BMO has 2 simple ingredients to make your savings rise. Great interest rates and no monthly fees.
Yeah, that would do it all right.
Plus, get a cash bonus for opening a checking and savings account.
So BMO helps your savings grow bigger faster.
Like a triple dose of yeast.
You're hired.
What? No, I wasn't looking for it.
Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
BMO. The quest begins with the Buffalo Sabres. Go behind the scenes with one team for each round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Quest for the Cup. Only on NHL YouTube.
Hope, faith, belief.
Okay, stay cool. Conference finals crunch time. Don't look at that clock.
It took so long to get here. Why is my hand shaking?
Hey, you good? Totally, except I'm totally not good. It's not just intensity. It's insanity. Lord Stanley, if you're listening, you don't want the cup. We need to bring it home.
Shot scores! You cannot script this stuff, and that is the beauty of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
The Stanley Cup playoffs on Sportsnet. Brought to you by Rogers. And presented by Instacart.
Big board presented by Bet365, official partner of the NHL. So Cale Makar is working in the gym today, a little bit on the ice, and Jared Bednar says it'll be up to Cale to let us know if he's ready. Deep trouble for Colorado. Vegas, Ivan Barbashev, maybe the guy that shone the most, but Carter Hart sensational. Marner and Eichel, they are on a tear right now, up 2-0. Bartlett, Galley, and McKenzie will be all over that tomorrow evening. Our show begins at 7:30 with Hockey Central, the game at 8 ET. From T-Mobile. The big board presented by Bet365, official partner. Download the app today. Second period in Raleigh is next.
Hope, faith, belief.
Okay, stay cool. Conference finals crunch time. Don't look at that clock.
It took so long to get here. Why is my hand shaking?
Hey, you good? Totally, except I'm totally not good. It's not just intensity. It's insanity. Lord Stanley, if you're listening, you don't want the cup. We need to bring it home.
Shot scores! You cannot script this stuff, and that is the beauty of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Puck.
No, this way, this way.
Hey, how are you?
Living the dream.
Let's go.
I finally won courtside tickets to the game. So I went to Moore's. I want to look like I belong.
Follow me. Joseph Aboud, sport coat, dress shirt, denim.
Hope we don't get on the kiss cam.
Me neither.
No, me neither.
Me neither.
When you've been in Canada for 240 years, you get around. Because it doesn't matter what it's in, it matters where it's from. Molson, everyone in.
I like thin ham.
Thin?
Big sliced, honey sweet. When all he wants is a different meat. Thin enough you can see right through me. I wanna make the sandwich of your dreams.
If this one opens that, you have absolutely everything. I'm gonna break a rule. I'm gonna give you one more shot. You've never done this before. I want to put $70,000. This is your last chance. Show her. This is The Price is Right tonight.
This game is brought to you by Rogers. Hold on to the dream. Rogers, this is our game.
The Chevrolet Bolt is back with faster DC charging and huge tech upgrades and range to keep you going. Oh yeah, the Bolt is so back. On select Bolt models, eligible customers can get up to $9,000 cash purchase credit. Visit your nearest Chevrolet dealership before this offer ends.
The stars are coming out for Canada's biggest night in film and television, the 2026 Canadian Screen Awards, hosted by Andrew Fung next Sunday on CBC and CBC Gem. Well, Ron mentioned the legs of Martin St. Louis. Both head coaches known for their physique during their playing days, even still as coaches. Combine that with how much weight their words carry, their presence does have a little bit of a Greek mythology feel with how revered both are. Rod Brind'Amour and St. Louis have great respect for one another. They are not in it to become statues someday, but have chiseled out an inspiring set of standards for their team. St. Louis saying today, the gas tank won't always be 100%. His players have to be calculated in an effort to take two on the road to begin this conference final. Chris? They've also chiseled out some history. The last time, or the first time, two players who have won the Stanley Cup coaching this far into the playoffs.
And Kyle, those two statues look nothing like the statues we have here in the booth.
You didn't think that was a boost shot?
No, I didn't think that was a boost shot of us. But, you know, just two great players, a Hall of Famer and Marty St. Louis, and of course, Rod Brind'Amour, arguably that kind of career as well. And their teams play very similar right off the bat. Rod Brind'Amour said, I feel we're the exact same team as the Montreal Canadiens. Let's see as they try to prepare here in the second period who can get the advantage.
Well, Montreal starts with a power play, but not much time to work with here as the Svechnikov minor coming to an end as Suzuki unable to break through. Svechnikov out of the box and just out of his reach. Otherwise, he was away to the races.
That was a tough read there for Dobish. Do I go? Do I stay? Is my defenseman going to get there? Close call.
There's Slavkovsky swinging it back to Dobson right in front of Dobish. Canadians scoring on their first shot for the second consecutive game. And the goal by Josh Anderson, the 10th consecutive playoff goal that he has scored that has either tied the game for Montreal or given them the lead. And here we are, early second period, tied at 1. Flipped in, a bouncing puck. It'll be knocked away from Evans. Defensive play made by Keandre Miller, who led Carolina nice time in the opening period at 8:43. Caden Gooley fanned on that with Seth Jarvis in the neighborhood. Evans gives it back to Gooley and across. Up off Demidov inside the line. Taylor Hall banks it back out. It came off a stick. I'm going to call that offside, although the Canadians will argue that it was knocked in by Carolina, but offside call.
Well, here's Svechnikov. You know that he's going to anticipate this and just comes out flying as he sees it goes. An opportunity to get it just a little too far, and that was a kind of an indecisive chip there by Dobish. You could see he was backing up as opposed to going forward. He kind of got caught in no man's land and had good support from his defenseman, and difficult play to make.
There's Mike Matheson flipping it out to center off a glove. Bounce pass Nikishin. Gostisbehere back to Nikishin. Up at center to the goal scorer for Carolina. Robinson sending it in. That'll be played by Dobish. He got bumped there. A lost stick ends up behind Dobish in the net. And he stepped on it.
It's in between his
up in his skate.
It's stuck between his pad and his skate. And he, good for him, pulls it out. What a smart play by Matheson. Yeah. Just hold on to the puck, give his goaltender some time.
It's a little buzz of the tower there. That Dobish thought that was icing. Icing got waved. A chance maybe in front of the net. And Hudson plays it out to center. Thought we're going to get a chance to take a look at how that happened into the padding of Jakub Dobish. Here comes Jackson Blake. Blake working in on his backhand. Flips that in behind the net. Taylor Hall unable to track that. Chatfield moves up. Here's Chatfield. Comes back to Blake from Stankoven. A pass for Hall that doesn't work. Taylor Hall watched by Hudson. Stankoven to the line. Slavin gives it to Blake up high. Jackson Blake to the net and knocked away, and Canadians trying to clear it. Do get it outside the line off Doc, and now Doc picks it up and he'll carry it in. Kirby Doc pivots against Slavin. Canadians changing as now Doc heads off. Gooley along the boards. Suzuki from the corner. He's tied up as he looked to center. Stays on the puck, however. Back for Gooley and across. Carrier couldn't get it by Hall. Now it's in behind the net. Nick Suzuki, third in playoff scoring. Gooley, that blocked in front. Gooley's got it again. Hands it off to Slavkovsky. On the cycle and up high. Suzuki from his knee. What a move to get it to Caulfield. And he'll send it wide. Carrier after it on the other side. And now Stankoven out. Looks like Carolina needed a change there, and they're going to get it. Caden Gooley up to Slavkovsky. Now on that right side, too far for Evans. That's icing Montreal.
Well, you see a little bit of everything when you follow a team through the playoffs. This one, I don't remember seeing this before. Right into the strap. You can see on the forecheck there now. Courier's going, I'm not going to get my stick. And in front, just a good composure here by Dobish, even though he's got a body in front of him. A little bit of tap there from Martin up. You could see from the straps that strap the pads into the skate, he's able to just calmly get it out. But Matheson behind, wisely holding on as he wasn't pressured. That would have been an interesting scenario, trying to make a save and move with that tied to your leg.
Caulfield got a shot on goal and then heads off as it's flipped out to center, and nobody wants to get caught on an extended shift here in the second period. A good period for Carolina in game one. Svechnikov working it back in. He'll curl inside the Canadian zone, and the shot goes wide. Stepping up is Walker. Back around Miller. In deep it goes. Jarvis trying to pivot away. Into the middle. Now Walker. Pass Newhook, and a good stick there by Matheson. Back to the line. Aho covering the point. So Carolina with the Extended offensive zone time here. Miller plays it around. Evans couldn't catch up to that. Now takes it away, and he'll flip it to the line. That's brought down by Nikishin, forced out by Newhook. And now the Canadians will get out of the zone and get the change.
Once again, the frustrating part for Carolina in this series so far is that offensive zone time. They've dominated, but not getting much. Get kept to the outside. Just great coverage defensively by the Canadians.
There's Carrier digging in, centering it, and that knocked to the corner, and Struble will backhand it away. Gloved down by Gostisbehere. Back in comes Robinson. His pass intercepted, and Deneau will turn with it. Deneau looking for Anderson in flight. Josh Anderson in behind the net. Centers in front. Deneau off his stick to the corner. Texier is on it. Here's Texier to the near side. Bumped by Nikishin. Jankowski after it. Then it comes back inside Montreal territory.
What a smart play by Deneau. He knows the speed of Anderson, didn't try to get a direct pass to him, just bumped it off the boards, knowing that Anderson, with his threat, with his speed, able to skate into it.
Up for Bolduc, and that ends up out of play. 6:35 gone second period. Not many scoring chances, but we do have one highlight, an unusual stick in the pads that Dobish had to deal with.
I got dreams in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't go. I got dreams in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't.
Here in Saskatchewan, we're looking ahead, way ahead. Fertilizing farms, feeding the world, zero-till farming, zero compromise. Powering clean energy around the globe using the highest grade uranium in the world. Rich in resources, strong in reliability. Strong, sustainable Saskatchewan.
Toyota takes you there. Don't miss out. Red Tag Days are on now at your local Toyota dealer.
One thing Marty St. Louis has really trumpeted about his team is they play the way that the game and the shift reacts in front of them. You think of an offensive shift, but you don't get one. Now you have to play defense. Look at the structure in their defense, checking off the quick little stick there by Matheson, and then he gets right back to the middle. Defensively, they have played so well throughout this playoffs, and that was a big part of game one. The offensive zone time was dominated by the Carolina Hurricanes, but defensively, Chris, they don't overreact. They protect the middle of the ice, and I think that's something about, as he said, the rhythm of their game defensively is so strong right now. They trust each other. They play hard on the back end without the puck, and there was another great example of it. That really frustrates your opponent. You got the puck, but you don't get the chance.
Said the most notable part of the growth of this team has been exactly what you just illustrated.
Get game-changing internet and Canada's most reliable internet. Rogers Xfinity. We got you.
And Chris, words mean a lot. You know, teams talk about words that every player understands. And from the head coach, it comes down to just the buy-in defensively. And offensive guys are thinking, okay, I got to go out and score. But he has really preached to this group that just take what is in front of you. And if it's a defending shift, you work as hard as you would to try to score a goal to defend. And that's one of the reasons why they've been able to survive the one-goal games in Tampa, the 2 Game 7s, and that's kind of been a difference here in Game 1. They scored 6, but they had to defend the majority of the game.
Stay patient, and They have done that. 7:20 gone second period. The shots are 2-1 Carolina. So it has been tight checking. Suzuki swings it wide. Good pass. Caulfield away with Slavkovsky over the line. Trying to give it back to Caulfield. Knocked it down. Got it to Suzuki. Nearly busted through there. Slavkovsky takes a look up high. Swings it back off the glove of Anderson. Slavin with it. Bumped by Suzuki, but bounces it back into the Montreal zone. Up ahead, Slavkovsky. Bouncing that back in wide of the net. Evans going after it on the forecheck with Newhook. Up against Aho. Now Svechnikov across and Slavin. A lead feed, and that took a funny bounce and ripped up on Dobish. Wow.
That was a high hopper, wasn't it?
Certainly was.
Almost looked like it hit the pitching mound on the way back through. And you could see the calmness, though. He had it dialed in the entire way. Slavin going for the long pass, gets deflected, but how about that? You don't see that kind of a bounce very often. Dobish wisely, though, you know, you get a little bit, you knock it down, you don't know if everyone's open. Your team is a good face-off team. You'll take the whistle and try to live to fight another shift.
Face-off dead even in game one, and they are dead even here so far in game number 2. 8 face-off wins apiece. And off this draw, up with it is Svechnikov. He is checked, and out comes Demidov. That turned over. Back in Aho. Sebastian Aho late to Walker. Unable to handle that. Now Alex Newhook off the boards and ahead to Demidov. Here's a nice back pass. Evans feeds across. Carrier, his shot. Onto the stick now of Gooley in deep. It'll be Evans. Little interference there, a collision between Walker and Demidov that got a reaction from the fans, but none from the officials. Demidov from the corner, unable to center that. Stick came loose as he was tied up with Keandre Miller. Now Seth Jarvis dumps it down. Hudson off the stick of Deneau to the line and out, and here's Texier on it. In with Anderson, blows the tire, and Carolina turns 4 through center. Jackson Blake's pass was disrupted there by Deneau, and now he'll start the other way. Lead feed, Anderson has Texier, and Anderson makes a stop on Alexander Texier. Now Deneau with back pressure. Here's Carrier over the line. William Carrier into the corner. Fed back to Nikishin. 11 goals in his rookie season. That off the mark. Goss to spare. Carrier trying to come out in front. That ends up along the boards. Here's Nikishin, and that blocked by Deneau and takes a bite out of him. Carrier behind the net again. Looking to center. Plays it to Gostisbehere. On the cycle, Carolina, and that comes off a stick and back out to center. Stankoven will flip it back off the stick of Dobish. A short angle shot, the rebound comes to Chatfield. Played in deep for Jankowski and Robinson. Back to Chatfield once again. Out of the reach of Jankowski. Played back towards Jankowski by Ehlers. Trying to put the Canadians in the grinder here. Jankowski for Robinson. Now Ehlers. His shot and that missed. Traffic in front of Dobish. And now goaltending penalty upcoming. And Jankowski with a chirp on Dobish that gets a shot.
Well, playoff games are won and lost in momentum swings in a game. You got a 1-1 game, pressure at one end. The Canadians get a glorious chance here. Anderson with a saucer across to Texier. Maybe the best save there by Anderson to get on, and then contact going around. Little pick play as Jankowski can't get there. Penalty on Dobish, power play coming up.
Sometimes the best beginnings start with a click. Start yours now with a special offer for Canada residents and get a 4-day Walt Disney World Resort theme park ticket starting at $115 per day plus tax. Total price starting at $459 per day plus tax.
Decisions come in two flavors, smart and the kind you pretend you never made. Introducing investing with GoSmart. Smart. Introducing your girlfriend's dad to your hidden talent. Not smart. Opening your GoSmart account to start trading in minutes. Smart. Making it rain with $10. Not smart. Commission-free trading. Smart. Getting a tattoo without checking the spelling. Oof, not smart. Smart. Start investing in minutes with as little as $10 with GoSmart. New from RBC Direct Investing.
Only the ServiceNow AI platform makes all your tech work together. Any system, any workflow.
Any AI?
Yeah.
Any cloud?
Yes.
Any data source? The man said anything.
Any whipped cream? Yeah. Yeah. Don't be shy. A little more.
With Turo, cars are wherever you want to pick them up. Rental cars are in Section H, Space 45, which is actually back that way. To the right car, right where you need it. Turo. Rent a car, not a rental car.
Well, as you know, watching throughout this run for Montreal, Jakub Dobiš is often guided by emotion. Game 3 of the first round against Tampa, he got whistled for 2 penalties in that game alone, and again tonight he has drawn the ire of the officials. Up to 8 penalty minutes in these playoffs for Dobiš. Another important penalty kill coming up for him and the Canadians, with this one still tied at 1, Chris.
That's the most penalty minutes by goaltenders since Craig Simpson coached Dwayne Rollinson in 2006.
You know what? Rolly was an aggressive goaltender, too. Got a very similar personality. Didn't mind getting in the mix.
Big power play for Carolina coming up here. They start that second unit again. Well, a little bit of a mix here with Jarvis Stahl, who was out there to take the draw. Svechnikov, Gostisbehere. And a long board scrum. Saw this a lot in the Buffalo series. And it finally comes loose. Stahl back to Gostisbehere. Here's Seth Jarvis sizing it up. Across, a one-timer, Svechnikov well wide. Back up top for Gostisbehere. Aho, Jarvis. Trying to get away from Matheson. Gets it back upstairs. Gostisbehere shooting, and that hits the glass in behind Dobiš. At the line, Gostisbehere able to keep it alive to Aho. Svechnikov's pass. Matheson got a stick on that. Jarvis far side, tries to drop it back. Aho and Gostisbehere. Watch there by Evans. Seth Jarvis, one-timer, broken stick. Aho has to go off. And out to the line for Gostisbehere. Shimmies away from Evans. Aho back out there with a new cue. And Gostisbehere. Almost a minute and a half for this top unit. Gostisbehere drives that high again. Back down for Aho. All of it in this Montreal zone. Dobiš hasn't been called upon yet. Back Gostisbehere. Sebastian Aho. Svechnikov in front of the net. Dobiš down. Where is it? Behind the net and out for Svechnikov. And he fired it across. And it will ricochet out. And that's going to do it. Bolduc was serving the penalty. He's back on the ice. Gostisbehere dangerously with the door open at the Carolina bench. And now, here comes Montreal over the line. New hook. Bolduc. His shot wide. Far side for Kapanen. leaves it there. Dobson with a shot. Taylor Hall, watched by Bolduc. It's moved up the boards, but cut off there by Doc. Played back into the corner. Doc and Bolduc. Wrap it around to the far side. Noah Dobson looking for his first Stanley Cup playoff goal. So is Kapanen swinging a miss in front. And Stankoven back the other way. That pass disrupted by Dobson. Caden Gooley with the aerial. Trying to glove that down was Kapanen. Bolduc is on it. In behind the net. And around for Doc. Up along the board, Sean Walker. Stankoven. Up ahead, Ehlers trying to get a handle on it. Stankoven's got it. Back towards Ehlers, and now flipped away. Race for this. Struble after it. Digging in, unable to reach that, and it's Chatfield. Up ahead, lead feed, 2-5 for Ehlers. Around it comes for Suzuki, and back to Lane Hudson. Pressure from Martinook. Caulfield. Up for Slavkovsky, and now Suzuki. And Slavkovsky. Nick Suzuki in, wide on Jankowski. Here's a stick knocked out of the hands of Slavkovsky. Play continues. Martinook will send it the length of the ice. Icing Carolina.
Discover the magic of BetMGM Casino. Check out a wide variety of table games with a live dealer, roulette, blackjack, and more. Download the BetMGM Ontario app. Please gamble responsibly.
Well, Carolina with 2 minutes of offensive zone time had puck possession, but again, not able to get anything going. The one good chance for the one-timer is the broken stick. Slavkovsky here gets his stick knocked out. He's arguing for the call, didn't get it.
Gano wins that face-off. Gooley's going to step in. Gooley flipped it toward the net, but Slavin got a stick on that. Kept alive by Dobson off Anderson. To the near point, it's Gooley bouncing it back in deep. Jacob Slavin lofting that out to center. Slavin a -4 in game 1 and still the best plus-minus defenseman in the Stanley Cup playoffs among active players at +40. That's how rare his -4 was in game 1. Anderson drops it back in. Here is Jacob Slavin. That pass went by Jarvis around Svechnikov. That hit the crossbar. Crossbar from a sharp angle.
Svechnikov just absolutely unleashed that one. Surprised Dobish.
Under 4 to go here in the second period. Who breaks a 1-1 tie? Around it goes. Miller to the line, kept in there by Newhook. Now out. Taken away by Evans. Jake Evans checked. Jankowski pounces on that. Jankowski and Bowden with a good stop off. Mark Jankowski. DeAndre Miller in front. That's knocked away. And Newhook plays it out. Demidov swings into the Carolina zone. Tried to drop for Carrier. And they might get caught here. Jankowski been out a while. Trying to turn on Struble, who's stuck with him. That played back to the line and all the way into the Carolina zone.
Just a great play by Struble. He was fresh coming on the ice. Jankowski been out there 40 seconds. Good stops and starts as the D-man took the play away.
And now Ehlers is in. Ehlers scores! What a goal from Nick Ehlers!
You know, Chris, Rod Brindamore was talking about the difference of this team to last, and they added a couple of guys who can be game breakers. He identified, of course, the former Winnipeg Jets, and how about that? Just the frustration of Hudson here. He does a good job staying with them. Caulfield misses on the puck, and then that little turnaround just fools Dobish. Watch the reaction of the goaltender. Backhand, forehand, turn it around, and the quick little spin. You can see the reaction. Dobish didn't quite get the stick down in time. But how about that fluidity of motion and play by Ehlers? Dances around Hudson, spins around the net, and a big smile on the bench. A 2-1 game off of a beautiful individual goal.
26 in the regular season for the Danish Olympian and former Winnipeg Jet, who always seems to play well against Montreal. 23 points in 22 regular season games and 4 points in the 3-game set this year. So Ehlers from Martinook and Slavin at 17:03, but a chance, Matheson, and that knocked out in front, kept alive by Bolduc, and now flipped away by Stankoven. They're still not out, and finally it comes outside the line. Matheson to Kapanen, and he'll shovel it back into Carolina ice. Here's Logan Stankoven. Now sent deep by Nikishin. Oliver Kapanen back in his own zone, got checked there. Aho's come on, but so has Suzuki. He couldn't get out of the zone, and a chance, Svechnikov, and a big stop there by Dobish. Just got a piece as Svechnikov went all around it so far tonight. And there's a delayed offside as it slides right to Anderson. We're going to play on. Aho brings it back out. Onto the left side, back to Aho. That to the inboards, Gouli to Carrier, and he'll flip it away. The length of the ice, icing Montreal.
Well, that goal's just given this arena all kinds of energy. And you know what, as I said, Hudson plays him pretty well. It's the Caulfield can't quite get a hold of the puck. The frustration of Hudson, he didn't get his stick in there, but that's some pretty magic moves there by Ehlers as he's able to navigate his way through and slide that one through the 5-hole on Dobish.
Well, he got a 6-year, $51 million contract from Carolina, and he has put the Canes on top here, late second period.
This life here is gonna work, isn't it?
We'll make it work.
Ruth and Beth have secrets. People with secrets can be useful.
I wanted peace,
You can't chase peace.
and peace will have to wait.
We need to talk about soda because Poppy's changed it for the better forever. It's a mouth-watering, bold, refreshing soda that still gives you that iconic fizzy flavor you can't resist. With 5 grams of sugar per can and ingredients you love. Have your soda and drink it too. Poppy, soda's back.
The claims period for 2 classes in the First Nations Child and Family Services and Jordan's Principal Settlement is open.
First Nations children who were removed from their homes on reserve between April 1st, 1991 and March 31st, 2022, and their caregiving parents and caregiving grandparents can submit a claim for compensation.
There are free supports to help you fill out your form.
And mental health and wellness supports if you need them.
Learn more and submit your claim at fnchildclaims.ca.
So, tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
Subway's new wannabe spicy menu. From mild to wild to wicked. All freshly prepared on new ghost pepper bread. How spicy do you want to be?
So a late second period goal. Nick Ehlers has put Carolina on top. Canadians with only 5 shots on goal, but you're not too concerned yet about their position.
Well, I think they knew that they'd be under siege a little bit more in game 2, but it's still not a whole lot of onslaught of shots by Carolina. This is a team that throws everything to the net. Now remember, Montreal won a game 7 getting outshot 29-9, so they have that patience in their game. If I'm Carolina though and Rod Brind'Amour, you got to keep the push going here. He hasn't seen his team play at the level he has expected. Now you got the 1-goal lead. Now you can't let the foot off the pedal. For Montreal, you have to get into the intermission just down by 1.
Shot attempts 39-18 in favor of the home side as Caulfield works his way in, and offside is called. Well, from the opening kick to the winning goal and every unforgettable moment in between, every match matters. Watch the Northern Super League all season on CBC Gem. They have consistently, continually answered throughout the playoffs. The Canadians, do they get another response here tonight in game 2? Love down by Hudson. It comes out to center. Caulfield gets checked. Canadians with their 5th comeback win in the opener. There's a point shot deflected off the end glass by Martin. Slafkovsky after the stick came up there, and play continues.
Both officials were putting their hands down low like it was a falling play. It wasn't a stick coming up.
So, you can't get a high stick if it's below the waist. And
both officials simultaneously were making that call. Much to the chagrin of the 19,000 plus.
Here's a chance, maybe in front. Suzuki, and stopped by Anderson. A rebound left in front. That's Anderson's most important save so far. Now a penalty coming up as Texier skates away, and we got a Hurricane down in front of Frederick Anderson.
Just a penalty you can't take at the end from Texier. The crowd's going wild because of the non-call in the defensive zone.
It's Keandre Miller down.
Then you got a chance to tie this game. Marty St. Louis trying to see what exactly happened. Watch this play on Dobson in the corner. He's going after the puck, reaching down, and as he's falling, that should be a high stick. That he was on his knees, but that's a high stick. Suzuki at the last second. Look at the lift there by Svechnikov, and then in the aftermath, Texier. Oh, he just gets the stick in the groin. That's just. So I'm wondering, Texier didn't feel he did anything. Obviously he did, and that's a penalty you just can't afford to take. End of a period, offensive zone down by 1. It'll be a power play coming up for Carolina.
Well, the penalty getting assessed now, and Canadians give up a late goal.
They're going to look at this for, they're calling a 5-minute, and they're going to have to look. And I don't think either of the refs saw it directly.
So if you call the major, you got to look to find out if they really can get a sense of what happened here.
I'm not sure that was an aggressive, vicious enough motion or even one premeditated. I think this is going to just be 2 at the end. But man, how quickly can this game change? Looked like maybe St. Louis could tie this game. He's looking away, a bit of a jab. I don't think this is going to be. Obviously, you have to protect Miller in the most sensitive area. But to me, that's not a 5.
Shots were 8-4 in the second period. Here comes the...
Upon further review, Montreal penalty 85, minor penalty slashing.
They call that a slash, so Rod Bernemore's crew will have a power play to start the third period. Ehlers from Slavin, and they've changed the second assist to Jalen Chatfield at 17:03 through 2. And the Carolina Hurricanes with a 2-1 lead in game 2, our second intermission coming up.
The quest continues.
Be dogs, be dogs!
Go behind the scenes with the Buffalo Sabres as they go toe-to-toe with the Montreal Canadiens in an epic 7-game series.
Let's go, go, go!
Quest for the Stanley Cup, only on NHL YouTube.
The quest begins with the Buffalo Sabres. Go behind the scenes with one team for each round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Quest for the Cup, only on NHL YouTube.
What would you like to taste today?
Every coffee, a new world. Every sip, a new taste. Keep exploring with new Virtual Up Nespresso. What else?
And the girls win. When it thrills, protects, and connects. That's the unmistakable feeling of a Mercedes-Benz.
True manliness is understanding that you need to pay attention to your stick. Dr. Squatch is aluminum-free, natural origin, and comes in incredibly manly scent. So choose natural over synthetic. Dr. Squatch deodorant. Let your stick do the talking.
Tomorrow, Hockey Central sets the stage for a critical Game 3.
Vegas in a great spot here.
The Golden Knights have shocked the Avalanche.
The Vegas Golden Knights come to Colorado and win both games.
Now, the series shifts from the Mile High City to the lights of Las Vegas. Can the Knights seize this golden opportunity, or will Colorado respond?
All bets are on come playoff time, but you can't take your foot off the gas. You just got to survive.
You just have to watch the Stanley Cup Playoffs on Sportsnet.
I got dreams in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't go. I got dreams in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't.
Welcome back to the second intermission. Carolina gets the go-ahead goal. Jennifer Botterill, Colby Armstrong, and Luke Gazdic with us. And Jen, how about Game 5?
Well, quick one is just discipline. I mean, that is just a tough decision by Tex J late. I mean, the entire game for the Montreal Canadiens has been about hard work and defending, and you just made it that much tougher for your team. The couple of rushes they did get, they were patient up the wall to draw on the pressure of the Hurricanes to get a couple of their rare looks on offense.
Yeah, well, I think they found their game, right? The Canes, like this is their style of game, offensive zone. They've got it swirling right now. Rod Brind'Amour says he wants to get more action in the middle. Montreal, although in their end of a bit, and Carolina finding it, unable to get like too many high-quality scoring chances really out of it.
Okay, so huge penalty kill upcoming. Marty's whole thing this whole playoffs is bend, don't break. So they've bent a little bit, but they got to hold on to it a little bit here. The Ehlers goal that they give up, to me, it's honestly an incredible display of individual skill and effort. But this is awareness, too. And I'm not sure if Ehlers knows this, but I think he does, because skill guys don't get enough credit in this regard. Cole Caulfield is obviously a forward, and he's back on this play, coming backwards. Ehlers notices that, ISO's on him, cuts the ice in half in between the two of them, and just makes an incredible play with his edge work, his hip work. It's just a really nice finish, but I think that's some incredible awareness by Ehlers. I think he knows that's a forward, and he executes to perfection there.
Yeah, and you want Caulfield, maybe just stick on the ice, stick on puck, reaching a little bit, stick off the ice. Those details, so big, right? But for me, it's Dobesh, like the play of him and how great has he been through the playoffs, right? In these moments, and Gorton before the game talking with our guys, Elliot and David, and saying he shines in bigger moments, and just how calm he is as well, and going through this really for the first time, playing the puck so well, and then this stick gets caught up in his pads, and you think he'd just be in full panic mode. The play's still on right now. We're ISOing this. It's through two straps, but he just rips it out, throws it in the corner, ho-hum, not a big deal, but just so smart with his stick. He plays the puck so well. He's just really aware of where the puck is, where the play is, like beyond his job. Just a really aware goaltender. I did not like this call. He didn't do much there. And then think about this. It's a 1-1 game. You just take a penalty, and he's laughing kind of, you got me, not a big deal. Okay, I'm going to come back and make this save right after that. It's now 2-1, right, at the end of the period. Like, this guy's a star, and he's playing like it. And he gives his team, if he's not going to steal a game, he gives his team a chance to hang in a game, as he did just there on that Svechnikov save.
Right, and Colby, you talked about the Hurricanes and just that they have been playing a high-pressure game. So the Montreal Canadiens have been forced to defend, and they've had to defend the majority of the game. So you need everybody to be playing well. So a player that has been sharp is Matheson. So this was in the opening shift of the game, and he just gets a stick on that as Stan Coven is looking for the redirection on the weak side post. On the PK for him, always making the read, the diving interception on the play. If you watch him in the defensive zone, he makes sure he's got Aho covered here in the high slot area. But he's always thinking, as a defender, you have to think the game. You have to anticipate to know what's happening and to be aware of other players. So he recognizes when Walker has the drive towards the net, quick poke check. You see his head on a swivel. Quickly, it's back to Aho to recognize that. So the active stick coming up to pressure when he can. He gets another stick on that one, so Stahl cannot connect with it. Then, because of his intelligence and knowing when that opportunity is there and it's a safe play, he jumps into the high slot area and gets the shot off. So, Colby, you've said great person, just calm under these big moments, and they've had to work hard defensively.
I think that's awesome for like kids at home watching. Like, yeah, you're defending, but what's around you, right? You got to be able to do two things at once. Get your guy, and I can help you out here. Matheson, brilliant.
Montreal needs the Samdy man.
They do. It's Saturday night, Ron.
You're
calling him out?
Well, because Ehlers did his thing and Caulfield saw it. I bet you'll see Caulfield in this third period, absolutely. The other thing for Montreal, and Marty will be all over this, is the discipline. They got away with a high stick, but the penalties are all the weirdest penalties. Struble with that horse collar, Dobish, and then that penalty to Texier. None of those are like Svechnikov, which was a full-on aggression. Anyway, zone coverage.
Not an easy task not to take penalties against his team, too. Consistently, perennially, the top of the league in shot attempts. That's what they want to do. They get over the blue line, it's going to the net, and it's going to the net in a hurry. Montreal has done an outstanding job. Jen, you just focused in on Matheson. This is more of all five guys winning their battles and keeping everything from Carolina to the outside. As you see, all the black jerseys, they want to try to make this interesting and make you really work to defend. Switches underneath, making you confused, causing a little bit of chaos is in their MO. But look at Montreal, Jake Evans especially, doing an incredible job of just allowing them to stay on the outside, keep them on the yellow. Let's win our one-on-ones on the puck, and we'll let Dobish take the rest here, including some nice blocks. That was a huge one from Philip Deneau. He has been outstanding, by the way, not just in the circle, but eating pucks, killing penalties. It's just great clips from Montreal, one after a time, of just keeping them to the outside, not giving them anything.
And Luke, for many of those examples, they're extended shifts in the D zone. So they are well over a minute, but they're not panicking. Like, they're still playing the right angles to just pressure just enough. So great recognition on that.
To Lenovo we go, David and Elliott.
All right, well, it's funny because Colby just called Dobish calm, and he is calm, but he's fiery for sure. And Jets fans, we saw how fiery Nick Ehlers could be for more than a decade in Winnipeg, and we saw a little bit of that as well tonight, didn't we?
Well, they just did a great breakdown of Ehlers' beautiful goal, but what I was curious about was what happened at the end of it. So Ehlers, first of all, again, the play, you can't show it enough. Like, just what incredible skill and how talented he is and the great goal he scores. But he goes to the bench, he goes through the celebration, and then at the end of it, he stares down Dobish. Two emotional guys, and how are you at lip reading?
No, I don't know if did he say anything or was he sniffling?
I thought maybe he didn't say anything. It's a look. Okay, I thought maybe he said something. No, he doesn't, but just a bit of a stare down between those two at the end of that great play by Ehlers.
That's why they got him. It was all for the scoring, and here they are with a one-goal lead. Meanwhile, no surprise, Carolina has outshot its opponent every single game in the postseason. That trend continues tonight.
Well, you'll remember when they beat Tampa, Montreal did in Game 7. They set a record for fewest shots in a playoff victory, 9. Halfway through this game, they were below that pace. Now they got 2 at the end of the period, including 1 by Suzuki on a great defensive play by Svechnikov, but Montreal's at 6. It's not a habit you want to get used to, but the Canadiens fans can be content about one thing. They know their team is comfortable winning low-shot games.
Big first 2 minutes of this third period, though, as they try to kill this penalty, Ron. We'll see.
You think of the forensics there.
Oh, man. How about Elliott and David trying to manufacture a feud, just going at it over there at Lenovo Arena. Great job, boys. Yeah, we got something brewing. Is that TMZ-like almost? Like, we got something here.
Yeah, well, I hope
Ehlers and Dobish.
I look forward to it. Ehlers, Svechnikov, Jankowski gave him a dirty look. Here we go. Back to the bodybuilders for a moment. Kyle showed this. If anybody is responsible for a body like that, it's you-know-who. Former Carolina Hurricane, Gary Roberts. There's Gary at his illustrious career. He spent time in Raleigh. It's his birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, Robs.
I'm guessing he looks 22, but 60 today. Gary Roberts.
Wrist up like a bad report card, Gary.
This intermission is brought to you by Rogers. Hold on to the dream. Rogers, this is our game.
Tim's Taste of the Globe. Here's lime cheesecake Timbit. Oh, chocolate creme brulee Timbit with a decadent takeaway. And fireworks Timbit scores! Pop it off in celebration! It's game on at Tim's with new Timbits in ice cap flavors from around the globe.
It's mesmerizing. Cleaning that greasy mess with Dawn Platinum.
And not even scrubbing.
Well, fluff my feathers. It cuts through the slimy stuff better than their old dish soap, removing 99% of grease. That's why only Dawn is trusted to save wildlife.
The Evergreens family vacation started with Expedia. Dad knew his crew needed peace and quiet, so he booked a vacation home big enough for everyone. Great, right? Nice job, Dad. Expedia, the one place you go to go places.
Shake it time and ring it, go and get yourself a whistle and blow. I just wanna holler when my soul feels free. Now
New Balance, we got it now.
When you have a puck. No, this way, this way.
Hey, how are ya?
Living the dream.
Let's go.
Buck Martinez here with the Buck an Inch deal by Pizza Pizza. Get a 12-inch medium two-topper for $12, 14-inch, $14, a huge 18-inch, $18. Buck an Inch, only at Pizza Pizza.
The NHL app is your place to get every highlight from every series, behind-the-scenes playoffs content, and the most NHL Edge Advanced stats. The Stanley Cup playoffs are better on the NHL app.
From the first pitch,
What a scene here at the Rogers Center.
to the final at bat.
And the Blue Jays win it.
162 chances to witness something unforgettable.
The Blue Jays giving everything they've got. Got him!
Because the beauty of this team is the infinite possibility.
I want it all for the city.
Every moment covered right here on Sportsnet.
Stanley Cup playoffs on Sportsnet, presented by Instacart. Get groceries delivered in as fast as 60 minutes. You want fast? You want to be in Montreal tomorrow? It's Formula One. You want fast? You want to be in Vegas tomorrow night? We'll be there. Hockey Central, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, and then Vegas leads Colorado 2-0. That's on Sportsnet and CBC. Back to Chris and Craig and Kyle on Hockey Night in Canada. The third period is ahead.
When it's go time, and you're coming up short, order on Skip for your shot at winning one of 50 pairs of tickets to a Stanley Cup playoffs game. Only on Skip, official food delivery app of the NHL.
Thanks for making mortgage rates make sense.
That's what TD Mortgage Direct is here for.
Mortgages? Let your Uncle Sal explain things. I'm good with TD. I'll be over here knowing things.
TD, more human.
Sometimes the best beginnings start with a click. Start yours now with a special offer for Canada residents and get a 4-day Walt Disney World Resort theme park ticket starting at $115 per day plus tax. Total price starting at $459 per day plus tax.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Get a small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax. All summer long. Dollar Drink Summer, only at McDonald's.
At the table, we eat. We put down our screens. Well, we try. We win, we lose. At the table, we savor every moment. Simply the right choice. Structube, j'adore.
Before we found Skyscanner, searching for travel deals got a little crazy.
I'm comparing travel sites on the phone tree.
Brilliant. But Skyscanner searches all our favorite travel sites with one simple search.
It's crazy, but in a good way.
Our lives are built moment by moment. Big ones, small ones. Moments we live every day. Moments we never forget. That's why dependable power matters. Energy that's steady, clean, and secure. Canada's nuclear energy begins in Saskatchewan, home to the highest grade uranium deposits in the world. Millions of moments, one reliable source. Strong, sustainable Saskatchewan.
All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the National Hockey League is expressly prohibited.
So, tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
Subway's new wannabe spicy menu. From mild to wild to wicked. All freshly prepared on new ghost pepper bread. How spicy do you want to be?
The Ford, it's a event? The Ford, it's a big deal event. Right now, lease this F-150 for $237 bi-weekly. That's like $119 a week.
Today, let's stain with Bear.
Today we're not.
This is so great. I've been telling him for months.
There's been a lot of rain.
With Bear stains, your deck will have all-weather protection.
Oh.
Get the most trusted stain brand at an everyday low price. Only at the Home Depot.
When it's go time, and you're coming up short, order on Skip for your shot at winning one of 50 pairs of tickets to a Stanley Cup playoffs game. Only on Skip, official food delivery app of the NHL.
It's not every day that two Pakistani-American brothers inherit their father's crime empire, but for Mir and Raj, that day has arrived. Stream Delhi Boys now on CBC Gem. Well, we have seen Martin St. Louis over the shoulders of his players looking at the tablet at times. He wants to hear about what they're seeing, keep that collaboration with him and the players. Here are a few examples tonight alone. However, he does have a rule with his team. Doesn't want them looking at them during play, only during commercial breaks. He sees value in watching things back on the bench, but during the game, he wants his players to have a pulse of what's going on in front of them, to not lose connection to the game, and whether it's through video or otherwise, the Canadians try to find a way to up their shot total from just 5 through 2 periods so far tonight as they trail by a goal. Chris.
And they trail by a man to start the third period as Alex Texier will start in the box, and Carolina begins on the power play.
And this is, as a team, you have to have the conversation if you're Carolina. Forget about what's happened on the power play, if you've had success or not. These are the moments that you have to score. The 5 guys who start here have to outwork the penalty killers. It's just a critical moment in a 1-goal game, the opportunity to make it 2.
Well, here we go with speed. Ehlers into the zone, but checked, and it comes back out to center. The Hurricanes 0 for 2 with 2 shots on goal so far on the power play, so 0 for 4 in the series. Ehlers ahead, snaps that pass to Gostisbehere, and Dobish gets a piece of that. Newhook a chance to clear. It's knocked down along the boards. Jarvis scrumming, Svechnikov dug it out. In the skates of Ehlers, who couldn't find it for a moment. Gostisbehere in the middle. Oh, and it goes off Dobish to the side. Svechnikov a little slow, so it must have hit him and not got to the goal. Svechnikov back up. Swings that to Aho. Gostisbehere to Sebastian Aho. Aho off the half boards. Jarvis down low. Aho, long time to survey. Thought about coming out in front. In behind the net, center. And Jarvis missed it. It was glancing off Dobish, but I don't think it was going to go in anyway as he fired it back across the goal mouth. Svechnikov on it. Now rolled ahead. Evans trying to catch up to that. Seth Jarvis again. Back for Gostisbehere, and Jarvis stalled down low. Kick back up top. That shot knocked out in front of backhand. Stopped by Dobish, and it gets cleared.
Well, you remember the last power play for Carolina. They had the full 2 minutes. That's about 1:40 of offensive zone time. A couple of close calls, but just a really critical kill here for the last 8 seconds for the Canadians.
Miller idles at center, so Texier gets that to return. That bounces past Dobish. Stankoven centering it off a skate, and now the Canadians back at full strength and to the attack with Anderson over the line. Josh Anderson sending that toward the net, and it goes wide, and Stankoven with a quick turn. Up ahead it goes and flipped down into Montreal territory. Canadians stuck on 5 shots. They've had 14 in the last 3 full periods against Carolina. But as has been noted, they have won with 9 shots in a game. Here's A play back to the line for Slavin. In behind the net, Stahl. Carrier tied up in front as Stahl tries to get away from Hudson. To the line and onto the stick of Texier. Up ahead, Slavkovsky. Texier heads off. It's bouncing in deep for Suzuki. Caulfield's come on. He comes up with the puck. Cycles to Suzuki. Nick Suzuki. Watched there by the other captain on the ice, Stahl. Suzuki hands it off, and Struble dashes down. In behind the net. Jaden Struble takes a lap. Plays that in front. Knocked down by Caulfield. No shot. Slavkovsky's got it. Now they'll go to work deep in the Carolina zone. Slavkovsky trying to center it. Suzuki a swing at it, but unable to make contact. Played deep, but that's going to be icing against the Canes.
Well, again, the similarities of these two teams, the defending there by Carolina on the heels of a couple of good power play chances. Gostisbehere just takes it on his own submission to try to get that one through. Good stick by Matheson. Another shot, and you're right, it was Svechnikov on the flyby trying to be a screen, took it across crease pass. Wow, getting across there was Dobish as Jarvis thought he had that one up and over. He was just watching it on the big screen as well.
Canadians with 5 comeback wins, but none in the third period in the postseason. Looking to change that here in Game 2. Bolduc. Doc was loose on the right side. The pass too far. Moving up is Dobson. Into the corner, Doc around. Tripping up there was Matheson as he got tangled up briefly with Aho. Aho clears the zone. Svechnikov back in. Jarvis dropped. Gostisbehere missed the target. Now back to the line, Nikishin and Gostisbehere. Flipping that in behind the net. Aho trying to get away from Dobson. Sebastian Aho shooting off the glove of Dobish and sent out. Kapanen trying to chase after that, but Nikishin gets back. And Gostisbehere ahead. Dumped in by Stankoven. There's Alexander Carrier. 3 more block shots for him in this game. Caden Gooley, nice pass. Here goes Alex Newhook. And can't get the shot away on Miller. To the line, and that's out of the reach of Carrier. Gooley back for Newhook. He'll dump it back in. After Demidov on the forecheck, and Carrier moved up to hold the zone. Evans battles along the boards. Carrier again seals it up. Demidov loose for Evans. Pin trying to get it out in front. Carrier pushing that for Gooley. He shot and it deflected wide. Back to Carrier and across. Caden Gooley again. Off the board. Newhook in front. Here's Evans. And a big stop. Get behind and Anderson down.
Just a great job keeping a shift alive. A couple of one battles along the boards, kept the puck in 2 or 3 times, move it from side to side and try to get to the front. A good bank off the back and a no-look pass. Oh, a deflection off of Keandre Miller. That's why the reaction, watch the reaction of Anderson. Shots going one way, it gets deflected back into him, and for a split second, he thought that was rolling back in between his legs. He makes the big movement, but he had it stuck. That's a hard work shift. And Chris, the one thing Montreal hasn't been able to do is stack shifts up together, because in the next line, keep that pressure on, start getting some offensive zone time to get your offense kick-started here.
First shot of the period for Montreal is a grade A scoring chance for Evans. And now Deneau comes out along with Texier and Anderson. Trying again to follow up, and maybe it is here. Anderson can't get it across with Texier loose in front. Deneau trying to hold it in, and now it's out at center for Hudson. Back in comes Anderson. Checked there by Slavin. Up ahead for Robinson. And out for Jankowski.
So those 2 plays are what Slavin can typically do. He had a great stick on the first chance, and then another one on the other side and gets off. Rob Brindamore said he would be better in Game 2, and he's been just that.
Caulfield checked inside the line. Stahl on it. Leaned on by Caulfield. Puck loose for Slavkovsky. He'll pivot back, play it across for Hudson. Tracked there by Ehlers. His goal late in the second, the difference in the game. Hudson back to reset. And now a stretch pass. Looks like a set play. They try to get it to Suzuki, broke it up. Off the back heel of Ehlers, and Martinick. A shot, and Dobish looked a little uncertain about that. So approaching 7 minutes of the third period, Jakub Dobish with the stop. It keeps it a one-goal game.
Only the ServiceNow AI platform makes all your tech work together. Any system, any workflow.
Any AI?
Yeah.
Any cloud?
Yes.
Any data source? The man said anything.
Any whipped cream? Yeah. Yeah. Don't be shy. A little more.
Introducing the steak and cheese melt at Firehouse Subs. Stacked with new tender, flame-seared prime rib, melted provolone, caramelized onions and peppers, top sliced, toasted twice and extra melted. Because firefighters do things the right way. Only at Firehouse Subs.
Welcome to Texas.
Till the room comes up, till the lights go out, till my legs give out, can't shut my mouth, I'm a rip, till my phone relax.
The Ford, it's a event? Ah, the Ford, it's a big deal event. Right now, lease this F-150 for $237 bi-weekly. That's like $119 a week.
In hockey, timing is everything. Being in the right place at the right time. Out there, it's the same. With the right gear, you're always ready. Gear up and catch your next trophy. Sail, the ultimate outdoor superstore.
With over 300 locations across Canada, we're here to treat your car right. From our auto parts stores to our trusted repair shops, our team is ready to help. Bumper to bumper, auto parts, auto service.
Well, Rod Brindamore has had no desire in rehashing what the history has been with Carolina in the conference final since they won it all back in 06. 1-17 record in the third round, but it was Jalen Chatfield who said yesterday, we know what we are capable of. Taylor Hall added, win or lose, we have got to play a game that we are proud of. They've been proud of their performance so far in earning a 2-1 lead, the most important 13-04 of their playoff games on home ice to date, coming in what's left of this third period, Chris.
10 consecutive losses at home. Last win, Game 7 against Buffalo in 2006. That pass goes wide of the net. Svechnikov across. Jarvis! Oh! Did you see that? Dober diving across and robbing Jarvis there. Now back the other way. Evans has had the best Montreal chance here in the third. Flipped high over Svechnikov, who feeds it back in for Jarvis. Jarvis working in, but he got checked by Carrier. Evans to the far side for Gooley. Back across for Carrier. Past 7.5 minutes here in the third. Caden Gooley idling, and now Caulfield runs his pattern. Here's Cole Caulfield flipping it into the glove, and Anderson's got to eat that, so a face-off in the Carolina zone.
Get game-changing internet and Canada's most reliable internet. Rogers Xfinity. We got you.
Chris, that's a play for Caulfield that you didn't really have an offensive play. So you dump it in, you force for a face-off. Now you converse with all 5 guys, try to get a face-off play.
One shot for Caulfield, one shot attempt so far. Here's Hudson in deep, trying to get it to Caulfield in front. Hudson, and that ends up out of play.
Well, the most dangerous guy has been number 48. You win that draw back to that left point, and we've seen a couple of face-off plays. I think of the goal that he was able to put cross crease to Anderson in the Buffalo series. This time, look at the sticks in front gets a second chance on it, but a nice job. Slavin again. That's 2 shifts in a row. Slavin's had a good stick 3 times to thwart some good chances by the Canadians.
Canes win the draw, send it ahead. Dobson there for Montreal. He'll turn back with Suzuki over the line. Onto the right side. Caulfield in front of Dobson. Unable to cash in on that pass across as he jumped into the rush. Back in comes Suzuki. Off Caulfield. Back to the captain and into the midsection of Frederick Anderson.
Well, you know that little delay there. A tough play on the one for Dobson because he ended up as a right-handed shot. If he's a lefty, he can just tap that in. If that's Slavkovsky instead of Dobson, you might have a chance. There's one. You could see Suzuki. He was looking for options, didn't want to shoot that from there, didn't feel he had a chance to score, but no options were open. So once again, you follow it up with another offensive zone shift and try to get some momentum shift after shift building.
Oliver Kapanen wins an offensive zone draw. Hudson trying to get it through. There's Doc with a volley from the slot that ends up in the Anderson glove.
And, you know, this has been one of those games in this series. Cole Hudson's been such a dynamic player, points in 12 of the 15. Didn't have any points offensively, had a really solid defensive game in game 1, but you can see he's getting a lot of ice time here at the end. That's back-to-back shifts. He's on the back end trying to generate something.
Next point for Lane Hudson will tie him with Quinn Hughes for the scoring lead in the postseason among NHL defensemen. Doc plays it back for Hudson, and he'll look ahead. Tried to connect there with Bolduc. In behind the net, it's Zach Bolduc. Playing it back off the bench, and unable to control that was Matheson. Now lead feed, Eric Robinson fires that, and it looked like it missed by much, and ricochets out of play.
Well, I can guarantee you Rod Brindamore has his team dialed in. You know that the D are going to jump up for the Montreal Canadiens. They're down by 1. They've got to take some chances, so transition's going to be key. Turn the puck over, get going back the other way. And there's Robinson again, who's already got a goal in both these games. Gets a little tap from Carrier, his line mate there. That's been a pretty effective line, hasn't it? And both these teams aren't afraid to play all 4 lines. Got faith in all of them.
First 2 goals of the playoffs by that line off the stick of Robinson in this series, although we were told that that 4th line had been good as the series against Philadelphia wore on.
So that's what you need to have, that depth throughout your lineup. It's been the success in winning all 8 games for Carolina in their first 2, and for Montreal the same. You know, you look at, I gave you a trivia question, Chris. Who leads the NHL in 5-on-5 goals?
And I couldn't get it.
You couldn't get it? Well, Alex Newhook with 6. And, you know, you wouldn't think that going into a playoff run. Where's the hero going to come from? And it's been that guy. You know, you just need that to get to this point. And if you're going to be a Stanley Cup champion, along the road, somebody that is unsuspecting is going to have a great influence. Both these teams have it.
Boy, Deneau fired back that face-off win. Dobson sends it wide. Again, Canadians with 9 different 3-goal-plus scorers in these playoffs. Lane Hudson and Josh Anderson, who has the goal this game, lost it to Blake. Came across and Deneau knocked that down.
What a great play by Deneau again. Turnover, gets right back to the middle of the ice. At the great stick, makes the play. Just so dependable.
Fired around by Dovish, but not out. And Jackson Blake's on it. He tried to center it. Got checked by Hudson. Picking it up to Stankoven. His centering pass went off Dobson. Here's the shot, and a change direction. Dovish without a stick right now. It's lying in the goal mouth. And that shot poked the stick to Texier. Anderson gets out. Anderson checked at center. Both teams trying to get changes in. Newhook has come on with Evans and Demidov. And it's Svechnikov, Aho on the ice. And now in they come with Gostisbehere, a hot shot that bounced off the shoulder of Dobish. Mike Matheson ahead for Demidov. And Newhook's on the move. Alex Newhook in, and that Off a stick high, gets his own rebound. To Demidov. In the corner, Evans. Jake Evans. Back for Struble. His shot knocked down by Svechnikov. Where'd it go?
It went into his pants, didn't it?
I think the paraphernalia.
It did. It went right up.
There it is.
It's stuck. It's in his skate. I don't think I've ever seen that. That's unreal.
Get bonus shot block points for that. So under 9 minutes remaining. Here's Shane Gostisbehere trying to expand the lead.
Tim's Taste of the Globe. Here's lime cheesecake Timbit. Oh, chocolate creme brulee Timbit with a decadent takeaway. And fireworks Timbit scores, popping off in celebration. It's game on at Tim's with new Timbits in ice cap flavors from around the globe.
I shall kill you. You can try. A big army only means more targets. Who the hell are you? I am He-Man.
Masters of the Universe, June 5th.
Decisions come in 2 flavors, smart and the kind you pretend you never made. Introducing investing with GoSmart. Smart. Introducing your girlfriend's dad to your hidden talent. Not smart. Opening your GoSmart account to start trading in minutes. Smart. Making it rain with $10. Not smart. Commission-free trading. Smart. Getting a tattoo without checking the spelling. Oof, not smart. Smart. Start investing in minutes with as little as $10 with GoSmart. New from RBC Direct Investing.
With Rogers Xfinity Internet, my whole house is ready for baseball. So this is where I buy all my memorabilia. Boom! Just got Clement's childhood glove. Mom. She's really come through for me. And this is where I stream everything.
Sweet setup.
It's all for you guys.
Michael, what is this?
Oh, yeah. That's where I keep my modem.
Get Major League Internet with Rogers Xfinity.
Yeah, Wi-Fi is just pouring out of that thing.
Delivery of the game presented by Instacart. Get groceries delivered in as fast as 60 minutes. Nikolai Ehlers, 10 years in Winnipeg, but after signing with Carolina last summer, he said it was time for something different. The Hurricanes believe if he was simply chasing the most money, he would have ended up elsewhere. But Ehlers said yesterday he has felt so comfortable here in Raleigh as a member of the Hurricanes. Looked very comfortable on his goal there late in the second period. That stands as the difference here, Chris.
There's a blast off a face-off. Dobson that goes wide. Got loud here in the building with all the fans on their feet during the break. Martinook into Montreal territory along with Jordan Staal. Staal behind the net. Ehlers back out there for Carolina in front for Martinook, and he just missed. As Ehlers found Martinook loose in front. Now Ehlers battling in the corner. Hudson worked it loose. Galen Chatfield will move up. The former Windsor Spitfire put it on the stick of Dobson. Noah Dobson digs it out, and Suzuki and Caulfield work it back. Lane Hudson behind the net. Canadians are changing. So Hudson, as Dobish and Jankowski have a little stare down in front. And Hudson starts away. Here's Demidov through center. Working it in on Anderson. Like the fake shoot in and play it to the net by Demidov. Now Demidov banned on that, left at the line and knocked back in by Jankowski. Stephen Gooley. Alexander Carrier, a stretch there, and just getting there in time was Gostisbehere to deflect it away from Evans.
Love the NHL? Bet99 Sportsbook and Casino brings every shot, goal, and storyline to life. Experience it your way. Download the Bet99 app.
Chris, one thing you never see in a game is Dobish going to the bench. Every commercial break, he stays around his net. It looked like his neck protector was a little bit off, and instead of trying to take both gloves off and figure it, went for a quick little adjustment at the bench. But unlike most goaltenders, the entire commercial break, he stays around his net, does his stretches.
He gives you your money's worth for 3 hours every game, doesn't he? Fun to watch. Gooley thought that was out of play. Canadians end up with a puck and they'll work out. And here they come over the line to no right side. Anderson cuts to the middle, slid off his stick, loose in front, the jam away, and score! Game is tied! Josh Anderson!
Chris, the delay in the defensive zone wasn't out of play. This was going to be a high stick call by the Carolina Hurricanes. And instead of allowing the Hurricanes to touch it right here, a little chip there by Deneau. He keeps the play alive. Now you get three guys caught and you're going back defensively. A little bit of a misstructure. And how about this in front? Just a plethora of bodies. The rebound there, and it's Anderson again on the doorstep. What a play in the defensive zone. If they had to just let Carolina touch it, the play would be dead. 15 seconds later, it's in the back of the net, and we're tied at 2.
So the stat we mentioned earlier is upgraded now. It's 11 straight goals for Josh Anderson, either game tying or go ahead. And he has tied this, and now under 7 minutes remaining in regulation time.
You know, he's just one of those players that he's just such a big body. He's got great speed, absolutely loses the puck, but Carrier in there gets that last little push off the right pad of Anderson. Now he's down. The only bodies in the crease area are Carolina Hurricanes, and for Rod Brindamore trying to get this 1-goal lead down to the end, a scramble in front ties it up.
3 goals in the last 5 games now for Anderson. Mike Matheson and Dobson. Around it goes towards Slavkovsky. Redirects it, then 4 Canadians through center. Led by Suzuki and Matheson. And just fired that. A close call there. Matheson holds his own.
That was a heck of a save by Anderson there. A deceptive play. Matheson threw a screen, and he just got his shoulder in the way, stayed as tall as he could.
Matheson back in his own zone. Canadians now up to 9 shots. Here's Hall with the steal. Sharp angle, and Dobish able to cover the short side. Dobson ahead, kick back for Matheson. And now up it goes to Kirby Dach, who was loose. Bolduc in behind the net. Watched by Blake, trying to get it to Dach. It bounced off the ledge and down for Carolina. And that one kicked away by Gooley. Hit there by Bolduc on Blake. Rink wide for Hall. Dach was there, and now moving up is Carrier, and that puck ends up high over the screen and into the seats. So Josh Anderson with the tying goal, and Frederick Anderson with a clutch save here off Matheson to keep it tied.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Get a small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax all summer long. Dollar Drink Summer, only at McDonald's.
Game day, dude. Let's go.
But I still don't know which BetMGM responsible gambling tools to use.
Maybe you should mull it over.
I see it now.
Mull it over. Mull it over.
I know what to do. Good call.
With BetMGM's responsible gambling tools like deposit or time limits, you can always mull it over ahead of time.
Party's in the back.
This is Body Armor. Real hydration with electrolytes, no colors from artificial sources, and coconut water. Choose Body Armor.
GMC drivers know that not every job site has concrete. The GMC Sierra Pro Graphite delivers power and authority to find footing just about anywhere. The GMC 0% event is here. Get 0% financing on select 2026 models and limited terms. Visit your nearest dealership today. GMC, we are professional grade.
Chris mentioned how many timely goals Josh Anderson has scored in these playoffs. 2 more here tonight. He was saying yesterday of his head coach, when there is a problem, he's always got a solution. Tonight, Anderson himself has been the solution. Down 1-0, his goal tied it, and down 2-1 in the third period. Another time for Anderson to lock this thing up late in the third of game number 2, Chris.
Anderson's fifth from Carrier Deneau. Back-to-back multi-point games for Phil Deneau, and he's into double digits for points in these playoffs. First time in his career he's been able to say that, and a high stick will stop play.
Well, you got to understand with Anderson, too, and why as a player you look at him with all the skill set he has, the size, the shot that he does have, and you wonder, okay, how does he only score 15 goals this year, 14 last year? And, you know, his career high is 27. But I think Marty St. Louis knows exactly what he has for him for these moments. When the game gets tougher and you have to have some speed, you have to have some strength, he has just been built for this kind of action, and he's shown it here again tonight. What a big period he's been able to give to tie this game up.
Prototypical third-line playoff winger, huh? He could score, he could hit, he could fly, and everybody on this Canadian team could check.
But that's why in the regular season you think, oh, you know, he should score more. He should do this, should do that. But, man, has he ever proved his worth when it's been mattering the most.
Under 5 remaining here in the third period, game number 2. Evans across, and Newhook thought he had Anderson beat. Anderson was moving and looked behind. Evans again in front, and Davidoff unable to get a stick on that as Anderson just was able to recover. Now flung wide of the net, bounces out in front, and Dobson there to claim it for Montreal. Boy, Montreal comes close to taking the lead.
And that's about the third time Anderson has looked behind him on a save.
Slavin picks off a puck and backhands towards the net. Wrapped up there by Dobson. Blake trying to dig it out, so too is Texier. Worked onto the stick of Slavin in front, style! Putting it back wide. Dobson trying to clear, still not out. Deneau trying to help out, and it does bounce. Pass, Stahl, and out. What a chance for Jordan Stahl to give Carolina the lead again. Here's Lane Hudson, stretching it out. Anderson on the move again. Third time he scored 2 goals in a playoff game, looking for his first career postseason hat trick. Slamming in there was Stankoven. Unable to connect on a hit against Hudson. Caulfield forced Suzuki. Checked on the play by Walker. Caulfield follows up. Mr. Saturday Night to Slavkovsky. Slavkovsky across. All the way to Suzuki. Calling for it, Struble. His shot knocked down in front. And Walker feeds it ahead. Bouncing in past Dobish with 3 minutes left in regulation time. Montreal on another deliberate breakout and successfully through center. Fired in by Gooley. First man to it will be Bolduc. Leaned on by Martinick, but stays with the puck. Now bounced past Doc and out, and here comes Ehlers. Firing it around. Martinick moves up. Jankowski on the ice as well. So it's Jankowski with Ehlers and Martinick here. Loose for Chatfield. His shot turned into the corner by Dobish. Carrier was tied up with Martinick. They walk up again. Martinick stays with it. Back to the line, Jalen Chatfield, and that blocked by Kirby Doc.
Boy, every shot is just an anxious moment right now for this crowd, and the great chance comes on another beautiful passing play through the seam here, a one-timer, and Anderson looking behind him, wasn't sure he had complete control of it, and then on the doorstep, look at the quick little rip back, just missed by inches off the side as Stahl, the big body in front, just put a little bit turn back on that one. You saw the 5-hole get beat on the Ehlers shot. That one, he overextended, went the wrong way, just missed to the outside in tight.
Aho, Svechnikov, Jarvis. Out, and here is Texier, and that ramps off Nikishin and out as it opened up quickly for Alexander Texier.
Got to have a quick stick, don't you, there? The bouncing puck, that's always a tough play for the defender, Gostisbehere. He's got to back up. Texier didn't even see it till the last second. Then once he got control, tried to push it to the outside. If he had it curled maybe a little bit more, might have been able to get around that stick. But Nikishin, good active stick to not allow that shot a chance.
Minute 58 left, Deneau on the draw. Anderson battling, Deneau in along the board, Jankowski, and that slides past Hudson, ridden off there on a heavy check by Carrier. Texier for Hudson, tried to deflect it, but Carrier was there again. There's William Carrier, a Stanley Cup winner with Vegas. Robinson off the side of the net. Knocked into the corner, the fourth line for Carolina to the attack again. Jankowski put it through the crease. Kept in by Miller. Mark Jankowski on the other side. Eric Robinson got the scoring started in the game. That one through and off the blocker of Dobish and out. 70 seconds remaining in the third, and Dobish knocks that down behind the net. Hands it off to Dobson. Jake Evans. Carrier, red line, and he'll drop it down in the final minute. Next goal wins territory here in game two. It'll be Ehlers, 4 shots of the game. Checked there by Newhook. Does he have another game winner on his stick? Off the boards for Martinook, not out. Kept in by Davidov. Evans tied up, continues to battle. Davidov in the midst of it too. And Montreal wins possession. Ivan Davidov for Jake Evans. Back to the line, and that shot by Carrier is blocked. Off. Stall it out. Davidov, a back pass for Evans. Jake Evans working in and can't get that shot through against Chatfield. In behind the net, K-Andre Miller. Around but not, well, it does bounce on Matheson and come out. Here's Slavkovsky off the bench. Suzuki to the attack. Nick Suzuki at the horn, and Anderson holds that out. And we will play on tonight in game two in Raleigh.
You talk about a buzzer beater and what it could mean. This is one for Suzuki. I don't know if he had a clock in his mind, but it was coming and almost slipped by and bounced off the foot of Anderson. He's able to get it tight. Would it have counted? No, just a little late, but a close call nonetheless.
So Josh Anderson with his second of the game, his 5th of the playoffs from Carrier and Deneau at 13:51 of the third period. So 2-2 through regulation time, overtime in Carolina coming up tonight.
I got dreams in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't go. I got dreams in my head and they won't go. Spirits in my head and they won't.
Tim's Taste of the Globe. Here's lime cheesecake Timbit. Oh, chocolate creme brulee Timbit with a decadent takeaway. And fireworks Timbit scores! Popping off in celebration! It's game on at Tim's with new Timbits in ice cap flavors from around the globe.
Shake it time and ring it, go and get yourself a whistle and blow. I just wanna holler when my soul feels free. Now blow.
New Balance, we got it now.
With Nicorette, I'm finally quitting for real. I'm facing the cravings, the triggers, refusing to give in. That's real quitting. The journey wasn't easy, but real freedom is worth it. With Nicorette, you're up to 2 times more likely to quit. Nicorette, quitting made real.
Only to be used by adults who are trying to quit smoking. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is highly addictive.
New plan.
Hey Google, what's the fastest way to the pier?
Buck Martinez here with the Buck & Inch deal by Pizza Pizza. Get a 12-inch medium two-topper for $12, 14-inch, $14, a huge 18-inch, $18. Buck & Inch, only at Pizza Pizza.
When you've been in Canada for 240 years, you get around. Because it doesn't matter what it's in, it matters where it's from. Molson, everyone in.
Only the ServiceNow AI platform makes all your tech work together. Any system, any workflow.
Any AI?
Yeah.
Any cloud?
Yes.
Any data source? The man said anything.
Any whipped cream? Yeah. Yeah. Don't be shy. A little more.
Still waiting to figure this out? End the waiting game. Felix connects you with a doctor online, so you can get a weight loss treatment plan that's right for you. Get started for free at felix.ca. Felix, we'll see you now.
6th overtime of the playoffs from Montreal. Back in 93, as you know, they won 10 in a row to win the Stanley Cup. Their average age, 25.8, the same as it is this year. Flair for the dramatic, and I should say Carolina Hurricanes 3-0 in their overtimes so far in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Let me just show you one poster. On this day, 1980, The Shining premiered in New York City and Los Angeles. We'll leave it at that for now. We'll come back. Elliot's the only guy on the panel that watches movies, so we'll come back to The Shining in a little bit. Luke, Josh Anderson's heroics.
You know who I love? Josh Anderson. I feel like this has been the playoff run of unsung heroes for the Montreal Canadiens, having different guys at different times step up in big opportunities that might not be the top minute guys, and that's Josh Anderson in a nutshell. You're thinking this game is coming down to it, sub 10 left. Carolina has this thing locked up. Nope. Turnover in the D zone. It comes back down off the rush. And it's going to be Sebastian Aho's foot and a little bit of his knee that just knocks Freddie Anderson back down. That allows that thing to go in along the ice. As Colby says, a little Anderson on Anderson crime there. Huge goal from a hugely clutch player in Josh Anderson. Had to be.
Little teaching point for kids, too, just the strength on the stick for both of his goals to make sure that was an option to contact the puck. Great strength.
Easier said than done when you're the size of Anderson. The guy's a moose. Like, he went in there with a purpose. He lost the puck, but you stay with it and you battle. For me, looking at this game in this period, we talk a lot about bend, don't break. And to start the third period, guys, like the power play for Carolina, and Craig Simpson said this power play, it had spent majority of the time, the previous power play by the Canes in the offensive zone and just working it around chance after chance. And this one was the exact same. Carolina, all kinds of pressure and chances. Svechnikov, ouch. And then around the net. What a save right here. When you're talking about the Shining. Here's Dobish as he gets across on that play. Massive blocker save. Like, those are the plays to start that period where it's like, can Carolina just get that extra one? And they couldn't. Dobish held him off the score sheet. Massive save on that. Big kill and allowed them eventually to tie it.
And you've got to think for the Hurricanes, too. They have to reset going into overtime because really the story for them was missed opportunities, right? For those chances, whether it was on the power play or other looks, and they just couldn't capitalize. So, yes, whether it was Dobish making the huge save, earlier it was on Jarvis. He gets another look here, connects with it, and this one misses wide. So initially we thought it was a Dobish unbelievable diving sort of save, but it was the side of the net, and it wasn't really that close. So for these guys thinking, okay, we're getting these high danger chances, just they could not capitalize to take this one, and that allowed Montreal to stay close and then eventually tie it up.
Let's stay on the Dobish train. You called him calm. Elliot called him fiery. I'm not sure what to call him. This moment that happens in the third period, like, I'm sitting back there, and I'm going to lie, in real time, I did not love this. Here's Jankowski. You know Carolina's not going to flush you out, so Dobich says, why not go face-to-face? He's literally jawing at him. Now looking back on this, it's a tie game now. Now I love it. Now I love the fire. At the time, I'm like, this is a 2-1 game. What is your goaltender doing chirping? Just stop the puck. But now they tie it up. I'm like, I absolutely love that.
He's got some personality to his game, doesn't he? Like, not just like a good goaltender. We see the blocker save, great down low with his legs. He's amazing. He's got that quirkiness to him that
flair.
Keeps him involved. And maybe that's his, we talk about Binnington a lot, right? Like Binnington, when he was great, he was involved like that.
Hextall.
Yeah, and maybe, Dobich the same way.
I think there's been a lot of back and forth, even after Svechnikov tried the Michigan. Like, they were chatting right around the net. I don't know. I think that's great fire because then he just refocuses, reset, and he's been outstanding in net. So I like it from him.
Slavin.
So, okay, this is why it's been tough for the Montreal Canadiens to generate offense. So when they do get in the offensive zone, Slavin's often there for the answer. So if you look at his game overall, we knew he had a very rough, very uncharacteristic game one of this series. He's the one that makes the low pinch along the boards to keep that one in. So when they're trying to attack on the power play, we know the Hurricanes, 2 or 3 guys at the blue line, he's often the one that's there. And so 4-on-4, he's the one skating, makes the right play at the blue line, drives the middle and beats 3 Montreal Canadian players to the net. His stick, his position, he's just had a great presence throughout the night. So you knew he was going to come back and be much better in all situations. So in the third, we're waiting, right? Can Montreal make a push? Well, they still hadn't at this chance because he was defending the rush. He was preventing some of those passes getting into the slot area, making the coverage, jumping down to prevent Hudson from getting a shot on net. He makes this look easy. Just wins the battle, gets the puck, initiates the breakout. So in the playoffs, so key. You can't dwell on things. You come back. Slavin's been great for that.
We probably could have had way more. I know in the room, Jen's just mark that. Slavin, stick. There's probably like 10 more clips we could have had on there. He's rebounded well, and he's up to his old frustrating tricks again.
And there might not be another Carolina Hurricanes player that had to have a bigger response game than Slavin, and he has. Like, he has responded.
All right, there's a lot of weird things going on here tonight, Cole.
There is weird things, right? And we saw the stick in Dobich's through his pad, and it was hanging in there.
Yes.
And then we saw this as well. I've never seen this. First of all, laces wrapped around your skates. That's pretty East Coast League, I think.
Brand new laces every game, so they're nice and bright and white.
Yeah, so you notice it. Him and Thomas Hertel do that. So we saw that. I've never seen a puck stop, like, in that area, just stalled in there. And then Dobich had this incident, just calmly pulled it out while the play was still going on. Not a big deal. Threw 2 straps. How did it get in there? I have no clue. And then we got a flashback, guys, all the way back this year. That actually happened again this season, so it's not the first time. Justus Annunen with a big save, and that stick goes right through his pad as well. I don't know if, like, these are some things I know, like, we've never seen again. This happened, obviously, this year. But, man, I've seen some weird things here tonight. And
it's like a horror movie.
It is.
So, back to The Shining. This day in 1980, Memorial Day weekend in the United States, it's released, blockbuster movie. The plot, there's a sign on the wall that says red rum, and no one can figure it out till they see it in a mirror. It's actually murder spelled backwards. And the twist tonight is Anderson looks over and sees Anderson, you two. It's a nightmare for Carolina. DA.
You know what, Ron, I got to tell you, so that poster, that famous line, and Colby alluded to it when he did Here's Dobich, that was one of Jack Nicholson's most famous ad-libs. The line, "Here's Johnny," was not in the script, and he did it when he burst through the door. That is an awesome movie, The Shining, even though Stephen King, the author of the book, didn't like it.
It's feeling a little bit like an October night here because there's a little bit of nervous tension here. We've seen Eric Cole, by the way, the former Carolina star player, and he has a big smile on his face, but most of these fans do not seem to have a big smile on their face, knowing what's at stake heading into overtime, trailing in this series 1-0. Everyone's under the microscope right now, the top players in Carolina, Elliott, including their goaltender, Freddie Anderson.
So, Frederik Andersen, there was the one play here, and, you know, Craig Simpson talked about it. One goes over his stick. You know, there's a lot of focus on him, considering the awesome numbers he came into with this game. There was just a sense of, and that was a bit of an awkward play too. Strange, like Colby's talked about here. But this is the one that Simmer talked about, was he turns around, he doesn't know where the puck is. And I think it's a little crazy, this one right at the end, that people are debating him so much because of the numbers he's had in the playoffs. But I think it shows the overall nervousness of the building. 3 hours ago when we came in, we talked about how they're 1-16 in their last 17 conference final games, and the market feels it. When they lost game 1, there were people here talking about, is this going to happen again? It seems crazy, but you can feel the pressure and you can feel the nervousness.
They want to exercise those demons. This is a massive overtime coming up. They're starting to get a bit excited here, but at the same time, it's a nervous excitement, clearly, here in Raleigh.
And love the Shining review, Elliot. Fantastic. Picks for overtime.
Taylor Hall, Jake Evans.
Dano and Svechnikov.
Stankoven, Suzuki.
And because of the Shining, I'll go Caden Gooley, and I will have to go Shane Ghost Despair. There you go. We'll come right back with overtime.
Can't teach that.
What a night on Hockey Night in Canada.
You just can't teach that.
What would you like to taste today?
Every coffee, a new world. Every sip, a new taste. Keep exploring with new Virtual Up Nespresso. What else?
Introducing new Crest Clean Breath. Unlike a regular toothpaste, it doesn't just mask bad breath, it neutralizes bacteria for long-lasting, cleaner breath. Get that clinically proven Crest Clean Breath.
This overtime is brought to you by Subway's new Wannabe Spicy menu. 3 different heat levels, from mild to wild to wicked. How spicy do you want to be at Subway?
Welcome back to Lenovo Center. It is a nervous but excited building as we head to overtime in Game 2. A look at the overtime heroes in their career this year. Martinick, Hall, and Blake have scored overtime goals for Carolina. Slavkovsky, Hudson, and Newhook for Montreal.
It is interesting, the temperature of these games. If you watched last night in Colorado very similar to Carolina. They went 8-1 in their first 2 rounds, suddenly found themselves, couldn't get anything going on Game 2 of their conference final and find themselves down. You know that the push for Montreal, the goal is to get at least that one and get to this moment. What a big moment it would be here on the road. Can you win 3 in a row in the playoffs for the first time? Montreal's done it twice, looking to do it here for the first time for 3 in a row.
Yeah, looking to win 5 consecutive road games. In the conference final, home team yet to win. Well, jam in the Montreal zone. Puck comes loose and it ends up on the stick of Martinick. Again, an overtime winner for Martinick against the Ottawa Senators in this building. Nick Ehlers, who scored the second goal, whipped that wide, kept in at the line and just deflected wide. As Slavin let it go, Slavkovsky was Slavin on his back. Sends it around to the near side. Dobson. Ehlers crashing in there on the forecheck, stall along the boards. As Carolina with the first push here, but now Slavkovsky had that overtime goal to cap a hat trick in Tampa Bay. Is Josh Anderson right from that script tonight. Again, Montreal deliberate out at center ice. It bounces towards Demidov. Here's Simon Demidov deep in the zone. Newhook arrives, but it's played past him, and out comes Svechnikov. Over the line with Aho. Across, and Jarvis with a shot that doesn't get to the net. Around for Aho. Back to the line. Walker's shot bounces off Evans, and it's played back inside the Carolina zone. Here's Andrei Svechnikov. A move inside the line for Aho. And across. Jarvis a backhand. And a toe stop there by Dobish. Evans turns back. Montreal changing. Finds Anderson off the bench. And now Texier joins him. Anderson out to play that for Walker. Takes a hit, but sends it to the Montreal line. In the middle for Deneau. 2 points in the game. Anderson, 2 goals. And he is checked inside the line. It's rolled back, and no icing on the play as Struble goes back to get it. Now along the boards, Blake. Injured Montreal Canadian. And pressure on here. It slides for Hudson. Is Hudson hurt, or is that a skate issue? It looks like he's shaken up a bit, slowly making his way. Well, he's got to stay out. Can't leave. Back in. Swinging wide is Nikishin. And Hudson able to stay with him. Struble and Hudson trying to clear here, and now played out to center. And they get it deep off the stick of Doc, and now Hudson gets to the bench. Back in is Eric Robinson. Cut off at the pass. Bounced in front, knocked away. Matheson steering that to Dobson. Up ahead it goes. Doc trying to come up with it at center. Turning back is Carolina. Over the line, Jankowski. He'll cycle it deep. Behind the net is William Carrier. He swiveled that across in front, and Montreal is out. Bolduc rink wide. Chopped inside the line, but Chatfield prevented it from going deep. Back in, the chance. Here goes! Nick Ehlers, second of the night, is the goal that evens this series at 1 game apiece.
They sense the release. The relief of this crowd not going down by 2. Ehlers, just a great play here on a bad dump in. Didn't quite get it deep enough. You got a little change. 2 defensemen on the offside. You can see the delay of Dobson closing the gap. And Ehlers took advantage of it. Hard shot to make as a lefty. He gets on, he's fresh, and he just takes a couple of hard strides here. A bouncing puck gets control. Dobish was out challenging. That's a simple case of a shooter beating a goaltender. Quick release, no hesitation. Underneath the blocker, over the pad, and just like that, we're tied at 1.
Jubilation and a massive sigh of relief in Raleigh as Nikolai Ehlers has evened the series. We've got Game 3 Monday in Montreal. Ron.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Craig. Big win for Nick Ehlers and the Carolina Hurricanes. Who wants the goal? Luke, you want to take the goal?
Jen.
Okay. We all do. Okay, I'll start with it. I mean, Ehlers, you think about what an addition he has been to this team. I mean, playing now on their 3rd line and the speed and the attack that he brings. I also noticed elements of compete. He's competing harder for pucks than he ever has. But for any player, when you're making a line change, you come out on the ice with purpose. As soon as he gets on the bench, he makes the read and he starts going. Look at that acceleration at the red line, and he pushes the puck forward so that he can maintain that speed when he's receiving it. He recognizes when's the pressure coming, and he gets in. What a beautiful shot. And it took a great one to beat Dobish, but I just feel like this is a player, and you think about why the Carolina Hurricanes are a different team or a better team than they have been in the past. He's a big reason on this line, and what a massive goal for the Hurricanes, the speed and the finish by Ehlers.
So I found out when I was down there, his nickname is Fly. It started in Winnipeg, and it's made its way over to Carolina. That's the reason they call him Fly right there, because he can absolutely take off. What a goal.
Yeah, and I think the better team won tonight, right? Like they got to their game. They got to that style of game. Good on Montreal for kind of surviving and making it what it was. But that goal was set up by exactly Carolina Hurricanes play. In the neutral zone, above guys, creating those turnovers.
Takes a hit,
and that's kind of what set this up. It was kind of 3 shifts in a row here early in this period that led to this. Unable to get pucks in behind, defending players right on top of guys, allowing the second guys to get there, and then a little self-inflicted by Montreal as well, not getting a puck in at the offensive blue line. Chatfield kind of laid off of it a bit. Usually it's aggressive.